8th-ranked Texas Longhorns match up with the 17th-ranked Kansas State Wildcats. And you could call this an elimination game. Neither team can afford a second conference loss this late in the league schedule. One more loss, no shot at a Big 12 title game. Hi, everybody. I'm Joel Myers, and welcome to the Little Apple of Manhattan, Kansas. Plenty of things in common between these two teams. It starts with a 5-1 record for each. It continues with two teams top 5 defensively in the nation. Joining me now, my partner Dave Lapham, and the similarities continue, especially when it comes to the offensive side of the football. Balance. Chris Sims with the Texas Longhorns. Better balance this year, and Cedric Benson more experience.
No doubt, when you're facing defenses the caliber of these, you have to have a 1-2 punch. And throwing the football for Texas, Chris Sims, 6'5", big presence in the pocket, strong throwing arm. He gets the ball to all quadrants of the field with a powerful, accurate throw. But his life's much easier when Cedric Benson's running the football well. He's low to the ground, and I'll tell you what, this guy finishes runs. Over 58% of his yards are after first contact, and he's durable, over 30 carries a game sometimes.
Surprising balance this year for the Wildcats of Kansas State, and it starts with their quarterback, El Roberson, hitting for a higher percentage.
No doubt about that. Now, he can run the football, makes great decisions in the option. He's rushed for 178 yards against Colorado already this year, but his big improvement is he's completed 10% more of his passes than he did last year. But his life's also easier when he's complemented by Darren Sproles. And here's a kid, I mean, some people are quick, some people are fast. Very rarely do you have a guy that has both. This guy is eye-popping in both categories. He's a home run threat every time he touches the football, Joel.
So we get ready for the game of the day in the Big 12. Kansas State playing host to the Texas Longhorns. But first, let's head back to the College Football Saturday studio with Chris Rhodes, Kellen Winslow, and Artie Gigantino. Gentlemen.
All right, Joel and Dave, thank you very much. We'll see you in a few minutes. In the meantime, welcome inside the College Football Saturday studio. I'm Chris Rhodes, working alongside the Hall of Famer Kellen Winslow, the coach Artie Gigantino. They are chomping at the bit to break it all down. Hold tight, guys, because for the first time ever, Oklahoma's facing an Iowa State team ranked in the top 10. Said Cyclones receiver Lane Danielson were not the Iowa State teams of old. Maybe not, but apparently they used the Iowa State playbooks of old because they looked a lot like the old Iowa State Cyclones, no matter what Seneca Wallace could do. Early on, special teams, a hallmark of the Sooners, the block punt. Look at it, Anthony Forrest.
Pick it up, pick it up.
He tried to kick it out in the end zone. Derek Straits recovers. 7-zip Sooners. Then Quentin Griffin getting it done.
He takes a handoff. He goes to the outside. He keeps his balance, and he scores. He's gotten 359 yards in 2 games.
Seneca Wallace found more Sooners than Cyclones in the first half. Once again, this is Derek Straits picking it off. Wallace, a miserable day as Iowa State still has never beaten the Sooners and the Nebraska Cornhuskers in the same season. Well, what does this do to Seneca Wallace's Heisman hopes? 4 completions in 22 attempts. Also, 6 carries, minus 28 yards. He was also sacked 4 times in this one. The Buckeyes barely remain unbeaten up at Camp Randall. Maurice Clarett, 59 of his buck 34 coming in the 4th quarter. And the upset of the day, 6th-ranked Oregon, tied at 42. It's Mike Barth for Arizona State, connecting from 29 yards out to give the Sun Devils the lead. They would pick off Jason Fife and hold on for a rare win up at Autzen Stadium. For the Ducks, just their 2nd loss in their last 30 home games. They fall from the ranks of the unbeaten. And Kellen, we talked about it on our kickoff show. Mike Bellotti admitted he would need some help, even if they ran the table. I guess they don't have to worry about that
Well,
now.
he doesn't have to worry about that. I'm having a rough day right now. My prognostications are winners. I picked Miami to play Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl for the BCS, but that won't happen. With a loss, Oregon is pretty much eliminated from the national championship race.
And their defense is really starting to let them down this year. But, you know, you got to look at the Sun Devils from Arizona State. This is a team right now that's 3-0 in the conference, and they're doing a great job down there in Tempe.
Andrew Walter, over 500 yards. 3rd time in the last 4 games, he's topped the 400-yard plateau. Roy Williams, just 18 catches after 67 as a freshman last year. Can Texas' super soft shake off injuries and run wild against the Wildcats? That's just a few minutes away.
Rest assured, even in the wee hours, you can get anything on Wendy's menu made fresh. Visit our late-night pickup window and eat great, even late. Sweet dreams.
Dehydration. It can't be predicted. It can be prevented. Nothing has been tested and proven to hydrate athletes better or faster. Gatorade. is it in you?
Own Insomnia, now on DVD and video. A cop who needs to know. A killer who knows too much. Own Insomnia, now on DVD and video.
At Advance Auto Parts, we believe in doing it yourself. So we made this commercial ourselves.
We had Florence here check out the prices of our competitors versus ours. Do you have the results? But first, Florence, would you ever lie to millions of Americans who really want to believe that someone on TV is capable of telling the truth?
Never.
Go.
Advance is still the queen of low prices.
Queen, Florence?
As long as I'm here.
Queen's fine.
At Huddle House, we serve great hot lunches cooked to order, like our world-famous Big House sandwich platters with a super serving of fries.
And the best part? They're still only $4.99.
Big House platters are hot with our customers. They love them. And with 5 Big House platters on the menu, enjoy a different one each day of the week. So what are you waiting for? It's always good eating time at Huddle House.
America's favorite place for lunch. Oh, yeah. Huddle House.
Sam, I'm at the airport.
Hey, welcome back, pal.
You remember that conversation we had?
I sure do, buddy. Which conversation was that?
The one where I said I don't do any ads.
No ads. I really got to start writing things down.
Sam, that's the only one, right?
Absolutely. That's it. It was a one-shot deal.
Sam!
There might be 1 or 2 buses. Maybe.
Wendy's Mozzarella Chicken Supreme is so delicious with its 2 slices of mozzarella and Parmesan sauce on our whole breast filet. It's taking people to a higher level. Wendy's Mozzarella Chicken Supreme, it's better here.
Back to College Football Saturday, presented by Kyocera. Texas looking for its 11th straight road win and call off the search for Artie's 3rd cousin. He has arrived in Manhattan. We'll get you out there in just a minute. All right, guys, at the top of the show, we heard Joel and Dave talk about the struggling Texas offense a little bit. 209 total yards, 10 first downs last week against Oklahoma. They'll get a stiff test today, without a doubt, huh?
You know, they really will. And Kansas State has done a great job ever since Bill Snyder's taken over this program on defense. And this year is no different. Right now, they're 5th in the country in total defense, and it's the same scheme used by Oklahoma.
Let's bottom line this. Texas has got to win this football game today. If they're going to do anything with this season, they've got to go into Manhattan and take care of business. If they don't, they have no chance of playing for a national championship. Today is the day they've got to get to work.
Guys, Kansas State and Texas, they've split 6 all-time meetings, with the Cats taking the last 2 by a combined 59 points. Right now, let's send you out to Manhattan with Joel, Dave, and Jim.
Thanks, Chris. One of the great home field advantages in all of college football. We get ready for the Wildcats and the Longhorns. First, though, now to the 3rd member of our team, Jim Knox. Knoxy. Unfortunately, technical difficulties with the microphone for Jim Knox. So we'll find those cells somewhere there for Knox. Put them on the phone if we have to. College Football Saturday presented by Kyocera. Ready for some great matchups. 2 of the top 20 teams in the nation. Texas, Kansas State up next.
I told you this thing was awesome.
The 60-inch Plasma HD TV, 4 inches deep from Zenith.
Wendy's Mozzarella Chicken Supreme is so delicious with its 2 slices of mozzarella and Parmesan sauce on our whole breast filet. It's taking people to a higher level. Wendy's Mozzarella Chicken Supreme, it's better here.
Our dad's idea of time on the road is different now. He signs more report cards than autographs, and spends more time on our wardrobe and hair than his. Instead of people watching him play, he watches us play. But one thing hasn't changed. Every night, he plays to a full house.
Classic football weather, but when the sun sets and the wind is whipping across the state of Kansas, it is going to be downright chilly. Don't want to know what's in their system, though, right now, because they don't feel a thing. Joel Myers, Dave Lapham, Jim Knox getting ready for Mack Brown's Texas Longhorns. As Mack's in his 5th year, Texas winning 75% of the time for Mack Brown, and each time Mack is lost to Oklahoma, and that's the 3rd straight year. Will it be 3 straight wins the following week? Bill Snyder, an incredible success story here in his 14th season. The all-time winningest coach in Wildcat history by a long shot.
Joel, the other thing is the Texas Longhorns have not lost back-to-back games since 1999. So that's quite an amazing run by Mack Brown's Longhorns.
Selvin Young and Ivan Williams waiting for the kickoff, and here we go. Jared Bright gets into it. It's going to be Ivan Williams. Will he bring it back? No. 5 yards into the end zone. He'll stay right there. 1st and 10 to the 20. Now let's head to Jim Knox. Knoxy.
All right, I tell you what, Joe, I'm going to take a look at the matchup of the night. It'll take place. Longhorns, Roy Williams going against Terrence Newman, the fine defensive cornerback of Kansas State. Perhaps the best defensive corner in college football. Already 8 breakups on the season, 2 interceptions. Talked to both players before the game. Newman said he's looking forward to the challenge. And Roy Williams, guys, says this could be his biggest test all season long. We'll see what happens.
Chris Sims throwing 3 interceptions last week. One of the few times he has not thrown a touchdown pass in a game. 3rd year as a starter.
Newman's on B.J. Thomas on this snap.
Cedric Benson, and Dave, let's face it, they want to get the ground game established early. They never got it going as Josh Buell takes down Cedric Benson after a gain of only 2. Well, Chris Sims leading them on drives where they've scored 40% of the time during his career. And a huge front wall. The tackles have the experience, and that's Dockery and Doan. Inexperience at the guard position. Benson, Tressel in the backfield. And the wide receivers, some of the best in the nation. B.J. Johnson, Roy Williams in the tight end position. A banged up one for the Texas Longhorns. Now on 2nd and long, they'll be outside of their own 22. Benson, good room on the delay. And he's got a 1st down across the 30 against a defensive unit that comes in for Kansas State 5th best in total defense in the nation, giving up only 268 yards a game in their 4-3 alignment. Houchin, Reese, White, and Williams up front. The linebackers, and this is the strength: Hickman, Pierce, and Buell. Some Texans, how about 3 Texans in the linebacking group, with Dunnigan and Terrence Newman, an All-American candidate, on the corner. 1st and 10 Texas. Ball at the 31. Sims' first pass, and will he get it away? No, he's tripped up for a sack in the backfield. Getting to him was Corey White. Just tripped him up from behind, a senior from Mesquite, Texas. Kansas State's done a real good job. I mentioned, Dave, the 3 linebackers, Hickman, Pierce, and Buell, all from Texas. They've recruited the Lone Star State.
Well, the reason that Chris Sims had nowhere to go with this football is on the edge. They got tremendous protection. They get tremendous coverage, and the protection broke down for Chris Sims. He had nowhere to deliver the football when he took the last step of his 3-step drop because of tight coverage on the perimeter by the corners.
So the sack for Corey White. Now on the 2nd and long, Benson can't get out of the backfield. Penetrating Terry Pierce, a junior from Fort Worth. Honorable mention, all Big 12 last year.
Well, Texas wants to avoid 3rd and longs. They find themselves in one early in this drive. The Kansas State Wildcats already have a quarterback sack. They want quarterback sacks. They want tackles for loss. They want to get Texas off schedule.
Texas last week, 35 carries, but only 95 yards. Another 3rd down back. Brett Robin comes into the game. They spread the defense with 3 wide receivers on 3rd and 12. Sims can't draw him off in the long count. Now the shovel pitch. Robin banged pretty well. And only a gain of about 2 or 3. So a 4th and long, a punt coming up after Josh Buell got Robin from behind.
Well, once again, you had the matchup. You had the shadow, Newman on Roy Williams. But the pursuit for that shuttle pass was extraordinary. Kansas State had 6 people around the football when Robin received that little shuttle pitch from Chris Sims.
In to punt it away, Brian Bradford as the Big 12's outdoor 100-meter champion and indoor 60-meter champion waits. Terrence Newman, not a bad idea to angle it to the sideline and keep it away from him. It's out of bounds, but Kansas State's going to have great field position for the first drive. Close to their own 40s, they're still moving up. They'll mark it out. This K-State will have it at their own 37. What a difference a year makes for El Roberson. Now, after only hitting 44% last year, hitting 55% this year. They're top heavy on the left side. They've got some experience on the left side of the offensive line. Sproles coming off back-to-back 100-yard games. Wilson doing a good job in front blocking. Travis Wilson, the junior from Howell, Michigan, a transfer from Michigan State. But Roberson, let's face it, he's like an extra running back. He's averaging 98 yards a game. So on first down from the 37, Sproles, nifty move to make the first man miss on the edge, but couldn't get away. As Derek Johnson, the weak side linebacker, a Butkus Award semifinalist now, one of the final 11, made the hit defensively. The Kyocera 11 with Jackson, Boyd, and Johnson for Texas. And Vasher and Babers, the two to watch on the corners. Two exceptional defensive backs. And Huff, the young man who's come through, the redshirt freshman, along with Takari Pearson with the safeties. So now on 2nd and 10, running the option effectively. Well-timed pitch to Sproles, wasn't it? Sophomore from Olathe, Kansas, with good yardage, bumped out of bounds after a gain of about 5.
And that's the fear that Texas has, El Roberson's ability to make great decisions executing the option. And this time he ran it into the short side of the field, into the boundary. Sproles, diminutive, 5'7", only 170 pounds, but he bench presses 400 pounds. He's got very, very deceptive strength. I'll tell you what, he has got all kinds of change of direction quickness and flat-out speed. Special player.
2 years ago, the high school player of the year in the state of Kansas. Gets 6, make it a 3rd and 4. Running the option to the wide side. Will Sproles get away? No. Great pursuit, but a face mask coming up on Michael Huff, the strong safety. So it negates a great play, and they were going to lose yardage as well.
Well, what you have going there is Sproles at 5'7", and he's so quick, you're trying to find something to grab to get him to the ground. And he's so short, once you reach up by the shoulder pads, you get his helmet and you reach in the face mask. Now, he got his hands off it right away.
You said it. That's a tough call.
And if Huff, there was no damage done, but once you get your hands in the headgear like that and in the face mask, that'll be the 5-yard variety, and that could be a first down. It's about 4 yards to go for a first down, so even though it's not 15, I think when they mark this 5 yards off, it'll get Kansas State moving the chains.
Well, it may be short by a yard, but they get the down over because it wasn't a dead ball foul to begin with. So the mark off the 5, it'll make it 3rd and maybe a yard.
Face mask, 5 yards. The penalty results in a first down.
Well, they're going to give him the first down even though they don't have it. It's a spot foul. And they're going to give it to him anyway because they marked it at the 41. It should go to the 46. Now they'll put it up the 48, first down.
I thought they marked it at the 42 or whatever. I mean, the problem is that it's a very tough call because Huff, I mean, Sproles is so short. You're trying to grab something to tackle a guy. He was trying to get up by his shoulder pads, got to his helmet, and then slid down to his shoulder pads late.
They slide the tight end. Sproles going that way and making a miss up the middle. Nifty moves by a little guy. They list him at 5'7". It's probably more like 5'5" or 5'6". Now you can get your fix a day earlier than usual with the NFL show. Join Michael Irvin, Tony Siragusa, Tommy Davidson, Chris Myers. It's the NFL show presented by the U.S. Postal Service. It all starts tonight at 10:30 Eastern. So join us right after college football tonight. And then again tomorrow morning at 10:30 Eastern. Now on 2nd and short, Roberson calling his own number, and nice penetration. Corey Redding on the end just wouldn't let up on the play. The senior from Houston. Got to believe he's going to be first-team All-Big 12 for the 2nd consecutive year, Dave.
Well, he's a former linebacker in high school, and watch him just crash and penetrate and disrupt here. And he just takes on the block, separates, and then makes the play on Roberson. I mean, that's big time. You take on the lineman, pulling lineman, and you shed that block, and you get off it and you make a play, and you make a tackle for loss. That's big time by Corey Redding.
Now as they spread the defense, this is where Roberson can really be dangerous. More room to move. So he's back to throw for the first time. Will he throw, though? He wanted the screen. He's going to throw it downfield, and almost a great grab by James Terry. It looked like he wanted the fullback, Travis Wilson, underneath his first, and then found the deep cross.
I'll tell you, Terry should have caught that football. I'm not saying that it's an easy catch, but it's a catchable football. And Roberson, where he's so dangerous, watch the blitzers all picked up. Nice job by Kansas State. Roberson gets out of pocket. And look, if he catches this football, look at the room that he's got to run after the catch. And that's a catchable pass. Oh, man, you just got to look it in a little bit longer.
Nathan Vasher waiting for the punt from Travis Brown. Over his head and into the end zone. It'll be a touchback and a break for Texas. As when we come back, they'll have it for the second time, and they'll also be starting again at their own 20. It's scoreless early in Manhattan.
One company brings new value to the way we communicate. With market-leading smartphones that add color to the wireless world. Fiber optic components that drive broadband internet service. And copiers that scan direct to email for instant communication around the globe. One company does all these things and more to keep you in touch with your world. One company. Kyocera.
Taco Bell's grilled steak taco tastes so authentic, you may pull a grilled steak switch out.
So you like carne asada steak?
Yeah.
Great. Got some out on the grill.
The grilled steak taco. Tender slices of steak marinated in Mexican spices and grilled to perfection for a taste that's irresistible. For authentic carne asada steak, think outside the bun.
Saturday on Fox Sports Net, brought to you by Kyocera, one company, countless solutions. By Nissan and your Nissan dealer. By FedEx, ground, international, online, or express. Don't worry, there's a FedEx for that. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Got to be in Kansas with a windmill moving at a pretty good pace right now, and so is the wind left to right in the face of Chris Sims and the Texas Longhorns.
I thought I saw Toto flying by here a little while ago.
Wouldn't be a surprise. A little bit of house right behind.
Yeah, Annie M.
From the 20, Cedric Benson. And the indecision cost him. Josh Buell got him when he tried to make the stutter step and adjust his field. So Buell involved early. He's been all over the place. Honorable mention, all Big 12 last year.
Thing about Buell, he's got a tremendous motor. Look at that, 17 tackles against Colorado. They lost that football game. Josh Buell, good gap control responsibility by everybody. Nowhere for Benson to cut back. They played the cutback lanes exceptionally well. Everybody had their gap, and Buell finished.
3 wide receivers set. Going to be a loss of 2, call it 2nd and 12. Sims with heat underneath. Brock Edwards, the tight end, can't peel away from the linebacker as Hickman tried to rip the ball away from him. Another Texan out of Mesquite. He's a junior. His first year as a starter, and he's been a big playmaker for them.
Well, when you have an extraordinary defensive lineman like Tank Reese is, number 30 in the purple jersey, he's going to get a little bit of attention. Little cut block inside, make it tough. Tank's cut to the turf. Pretty good job, cut block there, and a little bit of a chip on Bryant on the outside.
Now here's one of those makeable third downs that offensive coordinator Greg Davis was telling us about yesterday, between 3 and 6 yards, that they didn't get done. They were 2 of 7 against Oklahoma. Sims in trouble, buying time, not close though. He tried to get it to Sloan Thomas. So one of the makeable, manageable ones gets away early.
And Andrew Shell had the pressure on Chris Sims, not allowing him an opportunity to set his feet and throw the football. Kansas State's defense is playing at a very high level. Both of these defensive football teams are outstanding. I mean, they have tremendous team speed, and they play their team schemes exceptionally well.
Kansas 5th in the nation, 268 yards allowed a game. Texas tops them in that department. They are 2nd best in the nation in total defense. Terrence Newman waits for it, but I don't think he'll touch it today. It's out of bounds outside of the 40 or near the 42, 43-yard line. And great field position again. You can't blame Mack Brown and his special teams coach. Bradford did a good job. Just keep it away from Newman.
There's a light in your soul that says you're one of a kind. Don't never let it go. Be original, an individual, like Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Be you, do what you do. Something better. Be you, do what.
At Advance Auto Parts, we believe in doing it yourself. So we made this commercial ourselves.
We had Florence here check out the prices of our competitors versus ours. Do you have the results? But first, Florence, would you ever lie to millions of Americans who really want to believe that someone on TV is capable of telling the truth?
Never.
Go.
Advance is still the queen of low prices.
Queen, Florence?
As long as I'm here.
Queen's fine.
Own Insomnia, now on DVD and video. A cop who needs to know, a killer who knows too much. Own Insomnia, now on DVD and video.
College football Saturday presented by Kia Sarah. Welcome back to Manhattan, Kansas, where all of a sudden there's a chill in the air. We were in downtown Aggieville last night, and downtown is a thriving metropolis here. It was warm. It was in the 70s. Far cry from last night, though. It's going to be in the 40s in a few minutes. Now Roberson, short side of the field option, and nowhere to go for Darren Sproles. A loss, in fact, of a little more than a yard as we head back to the studio for a Dr. Pepper game break. What's the latest, Chris Rose?
Well, Joel, in Happy Valley, Larry Johnson breaking Kurt Warner's single-game rushing mark with 257 and 2 scores on the ground as Penn State blanks Northwestern. Next week, Larry Johnson faces off Maurice Clarett. Should be fun.
How about Clarett talking about coming out after 1 year in college football? I don't know. I don't buy that. I think that was one of those in the heat of the moment that once it was out of his mouth, he wished he took it back.
So a loss of 2, 2nd and 12. And boy, taking care of the running back as Roberson puts it up for grabs, and it'll be intercepted off the noggin, believe it or not. Wallace, it looked like it should have been picked off. It's misjudged by Takari Pearson. Yeah. And then I guess Wallace just wasn't expecting it.
I think he may have thought Pearson was going to catch it as well. Pearson's got 5 interceptions on the season, and the 6th was staring him right in the face, but kind of mistimed his jump. Maybe by mistiming the jump, he obscured the vision just enough where it never picked up the football. When Pearson goes airborne, I guess he just disrupted his vision enough where, I don't know, Taco couldn't find the meat to fill the taco.
So now halfway through the first quarter, it'll be 3rd and a dozen. Each team with 1 first down so far. Heat coming late, a flag on a hold. It's going to come back on the completion for a first down to James Terry. But there was a definite hold.
Barnett was holding Thornton on the play.
Yes.
Thornton was being grabbed by Barnett, the 6th-year left tackle, and so that's going to be 3rd and a bunch now. It was 3rd and 12, 11 long 11, short 12 before the snap. This is going to be 3rd and 21.
And finally, as Mack Brown told us yesterday, and Carl Reese, the defensive coordinator, Kalen Thornton is finally healthy.
Right. And he gets the edge, and there's the hold right at the top. Look, arm inside the framework of the body, put the hook on him. Thornton has the edge, and Barnett just puts his left arm inside and hooks him. And it was in plain view of the referee. He's the one that threw the flag. It wasn't the umpire who looks inside. He's behind the defensive line. He looks inside, offensive and defensive linemen for infractions. The referee saw that one clearly. He made the call right there, referee, not the umpire right there.
2 offenses that have had their problems so far, but 2 top 5 teams in total defense. Heat on Roberson. Sidesteps it nicely. What, does he buy some time? They'll go out of bounds right about the 30-yard line. It'll be a sack because of a loss of a yard. Forced out by Corey Redding, the left end, who was pushing him out of the pocket.
He blew a tire. I mean, he rushed very well, and during the course of getting up the football field, he blew a tire. So he's going to make a pit stop and put that right tire back on. He was coming up the field hard off the edge.
K-State, one of the top teams of the nation in scoring. Second, in fact, in the nation, 47 points a game. Low snap. He's waiting back to Nathan Basher, and it was nailed over his head. Now will it die inside the 5? What a roll. Well, Travis Brown, was upset over the last punt. He didn't get it out of bounds inside the 10, and he thought he did. He can celebrate this time, though.
Basher just could not believe how far this ball traveled over his head, and it hit inside the 10-yard line, but then died at the 5 for the 4.
Look closely, and you can see a CEO, a senator, a teacher. With the largest leadership studies program in the Big 12, it's easy to see why Kansas State University is ranked by high school counselors as one of the top 10 undergraduate experiences in the nation. Start your future as a leader. Kansas State University.
The World Series is alive as Bonds and the Giants look to bury the Cinderella Angels. The World Series this weekend on Fox.
What did you do when you were with the Cowboys?
I want everything from one place, not one thing from every place.
I want it all from someone who's been around the block. My block.
I want it all from a company that's got it all.
I want one bill, unless you got a no-bill plan.
Bell South answers. Everything from one company on one bill. Savings on local, long distance, high-speed DSL internet, and more.
I want you too.
Call us. Bell South. Listening, answering.
It's Rodeo Roundup time at John Thornton Isuzu. They're moving out a whole herd of new 2002 Isuzu Rodeos, and they all come with 0% APR financing. Ride a great new Rodeo Sport convertible, just $14,990, and decked out with all the right equipment. Or saddle up a loaded Rodeo LS for only $19,490. They're heading them up and moving them out at John Thornton Isuzu. I-20 just west of Six Flags to Thornton Road. The deals are so famous, they named the street after them.
Texas has it back, but deep in their own territory. Starting to their own 5-yard line. And welcome back to Manhattan. Scoreless so far. Inside of 7 minutes left in the opening 15 minutes of play. And now can they get the ground game going with Cedric Benson, who finds a little crease, spinning yards after contact that Dave Latin talked about earlier. What a nice pop. I bet he got about 5 of the 8 after contact. Josh Buell finally tripped him up.
He's got a low center of gravity, Joel, and he very rarely gets knocked backwards. You know, he lowers those shoulder pads and helmet and just gets extra yards. He's a good running back that finishes hard. Look at Travis Brown's last punt, 64-yard knock, averaging over 55 for his 2 punts on the night. Pretty darn sweet.
Well, he was downwind and he got it up high. And boy, did it take off. Now Benson struggling for the first down. They stack him right at where he needed to go. Pearson Buell at the 15, but the win could be a huge factor tonight before it's all over. It's in the face of Chris Sims and the Longhorns, and you really can't see the way it's gusting like it was when Brown got that punt away. Coaches call it, Dave, the hidden yardage, the kicking game, the special teams.
Yeah, the average drive start for Texas is much worse than Kansas State. Texas is losing the battle of hidden yards. You see the wind whipping the flag up top. Down on the field, the wind's not as extreme. But up top in the jet stream where the punts are and kickoffs go, the wind's a huge factor.
They've got the first down just shy of the 16. Sims on the double move, looking deep. Nice adjustment, but his wide receiver couldn't come down with it, Roy Williams.
Now the ball came off the sideline. There's 2 footballs on the field. What's up with that?
Is that the hidden ball trick?
Yeah. I mean, Roy Williams said, wait, I can only catch one of them. What are 2 of them doing out here? He did make the adjustment to the ball, but couldn't control it. He gets 2 hands on it, and as he tries to bring it into his body, he tries to secure it with the left hand around his back, behind him, and then here comes the ball from the sideline on the field. I mean, you got to...
And it's from his own sideline.
Yeah, you got to keep control of those footballs. Somebody got excited over there about Roy Williams almost making a circus catch and lost control of the football.
Yeah, the referee Hal Dowden filling in the fans here. 50,000 strong in a sold-out house at Kansas State on the situation. Now this is a big game for Texas in the fact that they're coming off a loss more than anything else. How will they respond? And the last couple of times they've lost to Oklahoma, because last week was their third straight setback to the Sooners, they have responded to Mack Brown. They've really come through for their head coach.
Fisher's telling Mack, you know, hold on to the footballs in the sideline.
They beat Colorado 2 years ago, beat Oklahoma State last year, and both games were on the road. Little quick hitter for the wide receiver. Man, a nice move. The run after the catch by Robert Timmons. Jim Knox, what's it like down on the field?
I tell you what, you guys are right. On top of the stadium, the flags are really whipping around. But take a look. On top of the goalposts, the flags are at a standstill. It's a wonder, though, if the coaches of Texas know about this, guys. They may be looking up in the stands saying, hey, the wind is whipping pretty good. We don't want to go deep. Right now, the Longhorns are just going horizontally instead of vertically.
Well, they did try to get the ball downfield on that double move, but Chris did underthrow the football a little bit, Knoxy, you're right.
Now third, just about 6. Brett Robin, the only one in the backfield. The 3 wide receiver set with 2 on the wide side. The blitz is coming. The slant is there, and a first down to Roy Williams. That's a hot read all the way.
He's got 4-on-4 right there. You have Roy Williams working against Newman. Pretty good protection inside by Texas. I mean, they're doing a good job in the interior, forming a wall on Sims's front side.
Pretty good read by the quarterback, wasn't it?
Remember, the back side, the right side, right offensive guard and right offensive tackle protect the left-handed quarterback's blind side, not the left side of the offensive line.
Without a doubt, good point. So Sims on 1st and 10 with a flag on the play, sending it deep on the sideline and almost picked off by Newman. He was trying to get it to B.J. Johnson. That was underthrown. He put some air under it. Johnson flies right by him.
I think on the other side of the field, though, you got Kansas State lining up offside. That's what the flag was from the other side of the field. So you're going to get a freebie, 5 yards and an additional down because of the alignment problem.
Offsides on the defense, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
So a free 5, 1st and 5 coming up. Terrence Newman is somebody we're going to be talking about a lot today. He's transformed himself into a real complete football player. And on the defensive side, it'll be an interesting transition for him because he's a great track star, Dave, when he moves to the next level.
Yeah, he's won the 100 meters outdoors and the 60 meters indoors, Big 12 champion in both. He's run a 10 200 meters. That's world-class speed.
Spinning, cracking across the 35 to the 36 was Benson. Put down finally by Brian Hickman. So 2nd and short, 2nd and a little more than 2. Well, October's matchups will continue this week. Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader starts with the #1 free game show in America. Then Terrell Owens of the 49ers, hopefully without his Sharpie pen, takes on Aaron Brooks and the Saints. That's a couple of good NFC teams. Then the Buccaneers and the high-flying Eagles. Other regional activities, so join us tomorrow. Baseball's World Series also taking center stage on Fox. First down, Cedric Benson on the carry. He's a workaholic. Give him the ball about 25 times a game, and that's what he's averaging right now. 25 carries a game for 113 yards.
He's carried the ball as many as 37 times in a single game in his career. I had the game last year after Texas lost to Oklahoma. They played Oklahoma State. It was the 6th game of the season. Cedric Benson got his first start. Carried the ball 31 times as a true freshman in his first start. He is very, very durable at that tailback position.
High formation on 1st and 10 from the 40. Benson. Nothing available that time. Trying to shoot it through the gap between his tackle and guard. So as I mentioned, Benson right at 113 yards a game. But you've got 3 of the top 7 in the league on the field today. Sproles at right at 100, and then L. Roberson, a little more than 87 a contest.
All these 3 guys are in the top 20 in the country. Benson is 20th in the nation, averaging a little over 112 yards a game. So
healthy choice leaderboard with 3 of the top 7. So they could be moving the clock a lot today. Not putting it up, keeping it on the ground. You know that's what Kansas State would prefer to do. Benson Can he beat the defensive back coming up or the outside backer? In fact, Josh Buell, what a great tackle, because Buell was all by himself. Otherwise, a first down for Benson.
Well, with the number he's got on, you'd think he's a defensive back, Joe, and he's only 205 pounds, so he's built like one. But this kid is a 400-pound bench press guy as well. He's really 205. He eats grocery after grocery after grocery. They list him at 210. He said his goal would be to get to 210 pounds. He'd love to stay there. When he came to Kansas State, 172-pound linebacker. And he has got a heart as big as a lion, though. I mean, he stays after you.
Don't find too many Kansans on the Longhorns roster, but a lot of Texans on the K-State roster. And now, second and long for Sims. The underneath is available for a short gain to Roy Williams. Roy Williams with the catch. He's had a couple already. That in front of James Dunnigan has caught a pass in 28 straight. And he's third on the Longhorns all-time reception list.
Well, that was a third and about 8. And that's the, you know, the magic numbers, 3rd and 6 or less. And Longhorns not able to convert. Those third down numbers are so important. You get past 3rd and 6. When you're 3rd and 3 to 6, you should convert 45% of the time. When it drops to 3rd and 7 or more, it drops way down to less than 33% of the time.
Now let's see if Bradford does something different here, because it's Sproles back deep, not Newman. Short wobbler. K-State will stay away from it. Man, they'll still get decent field position near their own 18. So inside of a minute to play in this top 20 matchup between Kansas State and Texas, still nothing on the scoreboard. But looking back to last week's game, 2 top 10 teams. Now what a battle, because let's face it, Texas took the lead into the 4th quarter.
What a catch by Woolfolk, the defensive back, the interception there. He looked like a wide receiver, which he has played in the past. And I'll tell you what,
Dr. Pepper, Big 12 Player of the Week, Quentin Griffin, with 248 yards. Did he ever wear him down? We talked to some of the coaches about comparisons today. The young man we're watching, Darren Sproles, and Carl Reese said Sproles may even be a little bit quicker than Quentin Griffin, as Sproles got it on first down but couldn't get it outside.
Well, Griffin rushed for over 100 yards in the first quarter. Then he rushed for over 100 yards in the 4th quarter. And Texas had not given up 100 yards to a running back in a game all year long. And Griffin got 100 yards in 2 separate quarters. So the problem that Texas had was shoddy tackling. And that's what they worked in. They missed 15 tackles last week against Oklahoma. You can't do that. The unblocked guy has to bring the running back to the turf, and that's what they have to do with Sproles tonight.
Could be the final snap of a real defensively dominated first 15 minutes of play. Nice grab by the tight end and the low throw. Thomas Hill takes it in. He's short of the first down, and it will be the end of the first 15 minutes of play. That is the end of the first quarter. Defense is taking over early at least on a chilly night, Manhattan, Kansas. No score so far. You're watching College Football Saturday, presented by Kia Sarah on Fox Sports Net.
Aren't you such a catch? What a prize. Got a body like a Cadillac. Slow that perfect free. On Mr. Ice, we ought to buy you a Cadillac. Get after it. Hey.
Does RoboCat cough up Robo hairballs? It's metal, but that's not the point. The chips that power RoboCat are only manufactured in Palo Alto, but the assembly plant is in Tokyo.
If my girlfriend gets RoboCat, would it be jealous of me?
Of you?
Yeah.
No. Now focus. They ship the chips with FedEx International Services. Get time-definite, reliable service to Tokyo. RoboCat's the biggest thing that hit Japan since Godzilla.
Did I get it?
Yeah, you're fine.
At Advance Auto Parts, we believe in doing it yourself. So we made this commercial ourselves.
We had Florence here check out the prices of our competitors versus ours. Do you have the results? But first, Florence, would you ever lie to millions of Americans who really want to believe that someone on TV is capable of telling the truth?
Never.
Go.
Advance is still the queen of low prices.
Queen, Florence?
As long as I'm here.
Queen's fine.
Own Insomnia, now on DVD and video. A cop who needs to know. A killer who knows too much. Own Insomnia, now on DVD and video.
start of the second quarter. Our Subway game summary in the scoreless affair. How about only 16 yards on 10 snaps for Kansas State, Dave Lapham?
I'll tell you, this Texas offense is as advertised as is Kansas State's. I mean, we're looking at a defensive clinic being put on right now.
Roberson out of the gun, along with Sproles in the backfield in the first snap of the second quarter, and right by. Can he get to it? Now, what a great job by Al Roberson. That prevents disaster inside his own 10. As it was third and about 5, so a punting situation into the wind. Dead into the wind from his own end zone for Chris Brown.
It was a handleable snap. It just split Al Roberson's hands, and that's why coaches are hesitant sometimes to go to the shotgun, because disasters like that can take place. Boy, panicked. Al Roberson made the play. Let's see if Texas comes after the punt.
Basher, as Brown gets it away, a low wobbler, as I mentioned, into a stiff breeze, and a hop for the Texas Longhorns, who will have it now all the way at the K-State 39.
Field position becomes such a big factor in a defensive struggle.
Well, how do you feel about the BCS, and who should be number 1 right now? Miami, Virginia Tech, Oklahoma, Georgia, Ohio State. Log on to foxsports.com on Lycos and let us know. Give us your opinion. Who is going to be number 1 at the end of the college football weekend?
But those computers are humming as we speak.
Big win for Ohio State. On the road, coming from behind to win it at Wisconsin after trailing late 14-13. First and 10. Now, Texas take advantage of the great field position. Nice protection. Chris Sims going for the bundle. And a nice push-off. Touchdown if they let it stand by B.J. Johnson. Touchdown Longhorns. James Dunnigan trying to keep up with Johnson. I think he created some space at the end.
Yeah, Dunnigan's complaining about it. As are, look, in the end zone, all the Kansas State players, defensive players, are around the huddling around the official, complaining about the fact that B.J. Johnson pushed off, created a little space on Dunnigan, and caught the football. But Texas went for the score immediately. They had the short field. That's the end of the conclusion of the play. Dunnigan is screened off. B.J. Johnson just bodied him up. He boxed him out to get the rebound in basketball. He got inside position, boxed him out, got his body between the defender and the football, and caught it.
Mangum for the point after. An early 7-point advantage on the long pass of 39 yards. Downwind, and Chris Sims took advantage of it right away. Longhorns with the early lead.
Behind them is a snippy maitre d' and a wilted Caesar. In front of them is a family drama playing itself out. But right now, life is perfect. Thanks to a full moon, a powerful engine, and the Autobahn-tested suspension of the Acura RL.
It's Rodeo Roundup time at John Thornton Isuzu. They're moving out a whole herd of new 2002 Isuzu Rodeos, and they all come with 0% APR financing. Ride a great new Rodeo Sport convertible, just $14,990, and decked out with all the right equipment. Or saddle up a loaded Rodeo LS for only $19,490. They're heading them up and moving them out at John Thornton Isuzu. I-20 just west of Six Flags to Thornton Road. The deals are so famous, they named the street after them.
You just think about it. There is no other state in the nation that tells a child, regardless of where they're born, regardless of their background or anything else, you make a B average, we'll give you a free scholarship to school. I mean, that's a great thing. And I'm going to protect it as long as I'm governor and as long as I can speak and draw a breath. Hope scholarships are going to be there for every generation of future Georgians.
Rory Barnes, living up to the promise.
October's magical matchups continue this week on Fox.
Take another look at this touchdown pass by Chris Sims. He gets the ball airborne. B.J. Johnson, they feel he pushed off a little bit. Catch the football, right foot down. Okay, ball, that's a touchdown. Because later, loses control of the football. He doesn't have possession, and he cradles it in his body. But it was a moot point because he had possession with his right foot on the ground. Touchdown.
Newman and Sproles wait for it and fall asleep on it. What a break that it goes into the end zone, and now do they cover it?
Wow, you got to get on that
football. What a
breakdown.
breakdown, as Texas said they had it, but It'll be given to Kansas State on the touchback. Coming away with the football for the Longhorns, Richard Hightower, the reserve wide receiver. Boy, did K-State fall asleep. The combination of Newman and Sproles back there. And especially on the side.
Oh, you can't nonchalant it. You know, look at that, just reaching down with one. You got to fall on top of that thing and cover it up. You can't walk back there and nonchalant that. That's a live football. You have to get your body on that thing and cover it up. That's almost a huge, huge mental error by Kansas State.
So break for K-State. They've got it at their own 20. They've only got one first down so far. And Roberson looking to throw deep on a double move down the sideline. Good coverage and almost intercepted by Dakari Pearson. Let's head back to the studio. Dr. Pepper Game Break. Another update with Chris Rose. Chris?
All right, thanks, Joel. In Stillwater, Josh Field, 2 TD passes, ran for another. Look at that pretty touch here to John Lewis. Cowboys' first win over Nebraska since 1961. Dave, what's going on with the Huskers here?
Well, the Huskers talk about coming back to the pack. They may struggle to go 500 this year.
Huskers need us. I mean, we were there, what, 2 or 3 times last year? Something's wrong.
Okay.
We haven't seen downtown Lincoln. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
What a struggle it's been for Roberson and K-State against the second best defense in the nation. Now Roberson working with Sproles. Sproles into the secondary. Look out. They're worried about the big plays. Will anybody get him? Yes, inside the 20. Great recovery by Nathan Vasher.
Man, he had the angle. But Sproles, you get a little look at his speed, and he's got that change of direction quickness. He's no bigger than a minute, but sometimes big things come in small packages. And this is a serious package right here. Little counter. Linemen get their blocks, little power block, kick out block by Barnett, and Sproles is just off to the races, but Vasher can run too. Watch Vasher over here. Watch Vasher up at the top of the screen. Look at that hustle. I mean, Vasher comes off his receiver, has an angle. He's got some wheels as well.
Saves the score. Is still a 61-yard run. Dead ball foul coming up against the offense after the fake. That time to the fullback. Carl Reese said he's as quick, if not quicker, than Quentin Griffin. Griffin's got great power. Those thighs.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That is, let's face it though, that's the only play offensively for K-State so far.
Well, Carl Reese had an interesting terminology for Sproles. He called him a jump runner. I'd never heard that before. And what he means by is, I mean, Sproles changes direction. He's, you know, it's almost like a slalom skier, getting on the edge of his skis and jumping and changing direction on you.
And that's Griffin too.
He can change direction like crazy. But you're right, Griffin squats 650. Sproles doesn't have that leg power. He's something.
Now the fake. Roberson calls his own number, trying to make up penalty yardage and does. Tack on an extra 5 after that, going out of bounds inside the 14. Boy, what acceleration. Wilson with a nice block off the edge, but L. Roberson at 6'1", 205. He's a junior from Baytown, Texas.
Well, Lecky does a good job. The offensive line pulling and leading out in front, as does his fullback, Travis Wilson. L. Roberson, it's when he's in the backfield, if there's 2 backs with him, it's a 3 running back formation. If there's 1 back with him, watch Lecky make the block here, pull and make the block, and watch it. That's nice. And watch the fullback lead him. That's a 2-back set. You know, even though there's 1 back in the backfield being the fullback, that was a little counterplay. Off guard and fullback leading the running back, Roberson.
Now movement, and I believe contact. That'll be a first down if it's against Texas. First and goal.
Redding got in the neutral zone. As soon as you get in the neutral zone, it's dead ball in college football. And he got in that neutral zone, and it was over.
So first and goal coming up for Kansas State, looking for the equalizer.
Offsides on the defense. Penalty results in a first down.
Corey Redding has to watch the football. He's the defensive leader of this football team. He's trying to charge his troops up, even though he had the brain cramp. And when you don't move till the football moves, you can't listen to that quarterback who's got that voice inflection that can pull you right offside.
So Kansas State averaging 255 yards on the ground so far this season, out rushing their opponents. 155 yards per game as you see the red zone opportunities and the way that Kansas State has capitalized this year. Now from the 9, straight up the gut, Sproles. Boy, what balance. I thought he was down around the 7. He scored it free for 3 more and got it to the 4, slipping past Derek Johnson.
Nice little counter action there. One back went in motion, went flying across the backfield to kind of confuse Texas's linebackers. Then Sproles just hit it hard. Straight little dive to Sproles. Nice little design, nice little conception of a play there by Kansas State with the misdirection.
Kansas State has spread it out. Now they're bringing in new components of the backfield. They've already had 17 players score touchdowns this year. So Saba, who had a bunch of touchdowns earlier this year, Ayo Saba is in the backfield. He gets it. A bull of a back is stacked. Won't quit though, will he?
Man, moving the pocket. Texas says they
Texas said they did get it away, but they're going to say he's down. Well, the whistle didn't say he was down, did it?
No, there was no whistle.
You said it. Reed Boyd coming up with a football. They're going to say he's down to the 2.
Well, Kansas State came up with 2 tight ends, and they ran the power eye formation. There's the power eye right there. Off, you know, little two big horses up front, power, 2 tight ends. They just want to muscle Texas, and at the line of scrimmage, no huddle, 2 plays were called.
It'll be Saba again on 3rd and goal. No. The other bull of a back, touchdown, Kansas State taking it in. The other fullback back there, Nick Hoheisel.
This is the little power action, off guard trying to pull. And now let's see what's happening. There's a scrum. It's like a big rugby scrum. Was the ball pulled out of
yes.
there? Yeah, the ball. Here's the ball. The ball's loose. The ball's on the ground. And Kansas State tries to reach for it. Texas comes out with it. The whistle hadn't blown, so they get a second opportunity and they score.
Jared Bright trying to tie things up. And it's blocked. It is blocked by the Longhorns, who still maintain a 1-point lead. It looked like Kalen Thornton got in the middle of things, number 43. But another one on the scoreboard for K-State. Hoheisel, the fullback. It's close in Manhattan.
Dehydration. It can't be predicted. It can be prevented. Nothing has been tested and proven to hydrate athletes better or faster. Gatorade. Is it in you?
One company values the environment by creating solar panels that convert sunlight into a clean source of energy. Ceramic components that make our engines run cleaner. And the most earth-friendly copiers and printers on the planet. One company does all these things and more to improve our quality of life. One company. Kyocera.
It's my mother's recipe. Oh, candles.
Yeah.
Roscoe!
Roscoe!
Get down!
Oh!
I don't know what got into him.
You'll find any excuse to go Outback for our perfectly grilled shrimp and our tender ribs with chicken on the barbie.
He used to be so well behaved.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
College Football Saturday on Fox Sports Net, brought to you by Kyocera. One company, countless solutions. By Campbell's Chunky Soup, soup that eats like a meal. And by Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right. Well, Aggieville is the only place to be on a college football Saturday, and what a downtown they have here in Manhattan, Kansas. Joel Myers, Dave Blatt, and Jim Knox. Now, the extra point we'll take a look at in just a moment. 3 extra points blocked last week against Kansas State, despite the easy win.
And it was all due to low trajectory, and it was low trajectory on that extra point as well. I think Garnett Smith got his big hand up and blocked that extra point attempt. Could be huge.
Wright will kick it away. Young. And will anybody touch it? It'll hit. Will it go out of bounds? But it's taken by the Longhorns.
Well,
it looked like it was headed out of bounds at the 14, but they couldn't take a chance.
Yeah.
Matt Trissel grabbing at the fullback, but back to the low trajectory you were just talking about.
Yeah, you got to get the elevation, and as the ball is left hand, this mucker gets right there. That hand is the one that deflects the. Thornton and Jackson are behind it. but the penetration by the big horse up front, and that should not block the kick right there. The penetration wasn't all that great, and Bill Snyder was talking to Bright saying, look, you got to get some elevation, son. You can't be hitting a 3-iron. You got to hit a wedge.
Joe Ream will be in, and Joe Ream was in there last week as well. Sims changing the play at the line from his own 14, leading by a point. Benson, nothing. Maybe a yard to the 15. The ball squirted free, but it was already down. It'll bring up 2nd and long. Right now, that's 12 carries for only 29 yards for Texas so far.
And you know, Bill Snyder's going nuts because he had 2 great kickers here back-to-back. He had Martin Gramatica and he had Jamie Ream, back-to-back All-Americans. Joe Ream, Jamie's younger brother, was a high school All-American, but he has not made the adjustment. In high school, you can use a T. In college, you can't. And he's having trouble getting the ball up.
2nd and 9 from his own 15. Benson on the delay. Spinning past the 18 near the 19 for a gain of about 4 before he's shut down by Rashad Washington, the strong safety. So it may be up to Chris Sims before it's all over. Throughout the course of the evening, this college football Saturday comes your way from Wagner Field at Kansas State Stadium. A classic Big 12 confrontation between the North and the South, and who's going to prevail, because the other one is probably going to be out of a shot at the Big 12 title game. So Texas and Kansas State with conference losses already this year. Texas last week and Colorado a couple of weeks ago doing a number on K-State.
Empty backfield.
Sims needs a little more than 5, almost 6. And the tight end, that isolation, Brock Edwards, but deep downfield, couldn't get away from Jesse Tetwan.
And that's a safety on linebacker. You know, you got a size advantage, but not a speed advantage.
And since Bo Scaife went down with a season injury and a knee injury before the season ever began, it's been a problem. There have been a lot of people hurt, including Brock Edwards at the tight end position for Mack Brown.
Yeah, Brock Edwards has got a little bit of a knee hyperextension, working on it. And now let's see if Kansas State comes after this punt. Now Texas has the wind at its back, though. Kansas State was punting into the wind with bad field position.
Bradford came into the game with a 43-yard average, and he sends out a beauty. It'll be Sproles calling for the fair catch. And no, I thought he put the arm up. Then the grab from behind. And he's buried close to the 33-yard line. It did look like he put the left arm up, didn't he? McClintock down there, and Michael Unger, the wide receiver, as Unger got to him first. Jim Knox, what's going on downstairs?
Okay, you guys were talking about the place-kicking problems with Kansas State. Now, Joe Bryant missed the field goal, the 10th extra point right there. 3 blocked last week. 2 Joe Ream extra point attempts were blocked. And Joe Ream said the problem he's having was with this field turf. He said what he's doing, he's kicking behind the ball, and that is what's hurting him. We'll see if they iron out these extra point problems. That could hurt him.
And Noxie, that's because there's no tee. The ball's not up in the tee, and they haven't adjusted to kicking it off the ground.
Sproles sprinting past the 35 to the 38 for 5. Austin Senline making the hit, the sophomore from Scottsdale, Arizona. No, only took 6 plays, a little more than 2 minutes off the clock, and that's what the defensive coordinator Carl Reese and Mack Brown in particular were talking to us about yesterday. The big plays that you have to worry about. There was a 61-yard carry. The key down the middle for Darren Sproles. Wilson the only one in the backfield. Roberson wants to keep it himself. Dives across the 40, but it'll be short of the first down by a couple. At the 41. Reed Boyd tripping him up, the middle linebacker.
Joe, you talk about the big plays, the 61-yard run by Sproles. That makes 42 big plays or explosion plays. That makes 14 rushes, 19 passes of over 20 yards for Kansas State this year. 9 returns, punt return, kickoff return, interception, fumble return. 9 returns of over 30 yards. The only team that kept up with Kansas State in the big play of the explosion play category was Colorado. And they had 3 plays of over 70 yards, and they beat Kansas State 35-31. That's a big factor of playing these Wildcats, the big plays.
They don't exactly chip away at you. It's movement by the left side of the offensive line. Texas jump, but you can see the left either guard or tackle come up. It should cost Kansas State 5.
Prior to the snap, false start. On the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So instead of 3rd and a little less than 2. What a difference. That'll change the mindset of Al Roberson. Honorable mention, all Big 12 last year. He threw for 855, ran for another 643 last season. But that's when he hit only 40% of his passes. And I watched him in pregame drills, and I'll tell you something. Dave, he was throwing some frozen ropes in pregame drills.
He's got a hose. I mean, he can fire the pill. There's no doubt.
3rd and close to 7. Deep drop. What about a middle screen? You got the wide receiver and a first down across the 45. You can see it from way up here. It's like coach's footage for us.
Yeah.
James Terry on the catch.
Excellent call. You know, when you have a team that's rushing, putting all kinds of pressure on you, screens and draws, and watch the linemen, they release, then they get down the football field, and they're picking people up. The radar's come. Here comes the wide receiver. Linemen get their blocks. Ooh, nice little takedown block there. Get away with one.
Nick Lucky.
Yeah.
To the left guard.
But, you know, good action by Kansas State's offensive line. They sold the fact that they were setting to pass block and fake like they get beaten in pass rush. And, oh, no, it's the screen.
And now we're going to time out. Play clock was winding down.
Flag was thrown, but I think Kansas State called the timeout before the penalty flag.
Did you hear this student body section helping out the team, though, and counting it down from across the way?
That's that 12th man right there.
1-point ball game. When we come back, we'll send you to Chris Rose in our College Football Saturday studio show with a preview of the Nissan halftime report.
The NFL Show. Join Michael Irvin, Tony Siragusa, and comedian Tommy Davidson. Oh, no! It's more than just a pregame show. The NFL Show on Fox Sports Net.
The World Series is alive. Barry Bonds faces the defining moment of his career as the Giants look to Barry Gloss and the Cinderella Angels. The World Series this weekend on your local Fox station.
I'll go to the haircutting pros at Supercuts. Just look what they did for my team. Hey, Super Team, Supercuts. Supercuts. Racing never looks so good.
Race fans, visit Supercuts to see the number 12 car October 19th through the 24th. Meet Kerry Earnhardt. Log on to NASCAR.com for details.
Hey, that thing got a Hemi? Yeah. Sweet.
The all-new Dodge Ram Heavy Duty.
Did you mean the Charger? Because, you know, that's got a Hemi, too.
Now with a 345 horsepower, 5.7-liter Hemi Magnum. Grab Dodge's 770 powertrain limited warranty. Ford, Chevy, and Toyota don't match it.
October's magical matchups continue this week on Fox.
Coming up on the Nissan Halftime Report, I'll be joined by Kellen and Artie with all the scores and highlights. Which of the 10 unbeaten teams aren't perfect any longer? Plus, an update on Game 1 of the World Series from Anaheim. But right now, back out to Joel and Dave.
All right, Chris, we got up-tempo going here, boy. They're at the line of scrimmage. Kansas State going quickly, tempo-wise.
Texas almost offside to the boundary. And on the short side, Rowe doing as much damage as the man who was trying to put him down. The linebacker, Lee Jackson. He's close to another first down. Sproles on the carry.
A little FedEx air and ground. Okay, we're talking about balance. How balanced has Texas been? Ooh, 2-1 in the passing department because of that long touchdown pass. Kansas State as well. Now it's reversed. Look at how they've run the ball well, but got to get that passing game going. Pretty even, Steven, in terms of total yards, but neither team balanced. And against these great defensive football teams, you can't be one-dimensional. Texas one-dimensional throwing the ball, Kansas State one-dimensional running the ball.
After a gain of 9, second and short. Beautiful play fake by Roberson. Pressure deep down the middle and threw it well wide of the intended target, Taco Wallace. He's lucky that was not picked off by the free safety, Dakari Pearson. You talk about the passing game, that's one area that's been a concern. That's way before the start of the season for Kansas State.
Well, Kansas State came into this football game #1 in the country pass efficiency-wise offensively.
But how much do they throw the ball?
Well, but they've been efficient when they've thrown it. They've averaged 10 yards per attempt, a first down every time they throw the ball, 17 yards per completion, 10 yards per attempt. And tonight, though, they're going against a team #2 in the country in terms of pass efficiency defensively. Texas is a challenge.
Roberson, man, boy, was he buried immediately. What a play in the backfield as Sproles, rather, is got Roderick Wright on his back, who's a true freshman from A-Leaf Hastings High School in Houston.
Well, Mack Brown needed defensive tackles. So he goes into the high school ranks and he recruits 4 of the top freshman defensive tackles. And watch Mr. Wright here. Mr. Wright's very right. Shoots the gap behind the pulling lineman and tackle for loss in the backfield. That's 4 tackles for loss now behind the line of scrimmage for this Texas defense.
Bad snap. Will he get it away? It's deflected. What a break that the punter, Travis Brown, got that much into it as it dies at the 19. Boy, that was a wide right snap, wasn't it? Tony Jeffrey might have gotten to it.
Tony Jeffrey's the guy that got on the football. Tony Jeffrey's the guy that got free on the rush and got a piece of the ball. Once you get a piece of the ball, there's no running into or roughing the punter. The ball also hit the ground, so now he's free game. And Jeffrey deflects the ball, and as a result, still field position for Texas it's fortunate for Kansas State. They have to start inside their 20-yard line.
What a save by Brown. A 26-yard punt. It looks as good as one that's down to the 1-yard line after that bad snap. Little option action. Benson won't turn the corner, though. Cracked at the 20-yard line by Henry Bryant, a senior from Boca Raton, Florida. And you could hear the crack up here.
Well, you got 2 great defenses. Listen to the thumps down there. Man, talk high-low, a little accordion action. Man, I'll tell you what. You know, when you're a running back in college football playing against this caliber defense, you're in the hot tub a lot after the game.
Make sure my helmet's new and it's also tight.
Yeah, that chin strap's got to be locked up. Empty backfield again, 5 receivers. Benson in the slot.
2nd and 9 for Chris Sims. Good protection. Ball deflected and tipped at the line, though, as it falls incomplete. Jim Knox, let's head downstairs.
All right, thank Joe. I had a chance to talk to Chris Sims, Longhorn quarterback, yesterday. You know, after that tough loss to Oklahoma, he threw 3 interceptions. He said turned last week, he did not read the papers, did not listen to radio talk shows. He said he was going to bounce back, looking to bounce back big this week's game. He also said he likes this going up against his K-State defense. Man-to-man reminds him a lot of his defense. He goes up against it a lot in practice, guys. He says it dares him to make a big play, and that's what he's looking to do.
Yeah, Knoxie brings up a good point, the pride factor for this Texas team. They're 16-3 over the last 19. They don't lose very often. Great wall and support for Sims, and he's got a first down over the middle.
Shanahan.
And that's Kyle Shanahan.
Pass was complete to number 87.
Young man, you might remember the last name. His father, the head coach of the Denver Broncos. Slant got away from him last week. This time he got the first down.
Got an injured Texas Longhorn. Can't make it off the field to the sideline, Joel. Is that Don't? Or no, that's... Who is that inside?
Bo Baker, the senior from Houston, their starting right guard.
And they're working on the leg. And they're already down below. I don't know if it's an ankle or a knee, but he's not doing well. And that offensive line's been nicked up a little bit. Jonathan Scott, the redshirt freshman that started the season at right tackle, it has been nicked up, and they had to move Dockery from right guard to right tackle. Big wall, big pile, and right here, look at this is where the injury is. You get in a pound, you get bent over the back. Ooh, your knee can't bend that far. You know, I mean, you might be. Look at the ankle. I mean, he's lucky he didn't blow that ankle out. His knee, he's just caught in an uncompromising position right there, and he's lucky he doesn't have multiple body part injuries. That's what happens when you get caught in those piles like that.
Key 3rd down conversion, though, after they were 1 of 5 before that throw by Chris Sims. So Shanahan comes through, the senior from Inglewood, Colorado. On the long count, just a 4-man rush. Time for Chris Sims, and a receiver can't hang on as it's dropped by B.J. Johnson.
And right in the breadbasket.
Jesse Tetwan, the free safety, crawling up his back, but It looked catchable. Well, College Football Saturday presented by Kyocera returns to Fox Sports Net next Saturday. Pac-10 Twin Bill. It all starts with Stanford matching up with UCLA. Then Washington State taking on Arizona. Coverage all starts with the College Football Saturday kickoff show. 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Net. 2nd and long, 2nd and 10 after the drop. Pretty good numbers so far for Chris Sims, and the passing game wasn't there in the first quarter for him. Trying to make up for lost time, Cedric Benson wheeling his way to the 36 for Shortking. Picked up about 3 before he's dumped down by Henry Bryan once again.
Well, Texas is going to stay with the running game. They're not going to abandon it. They know they have to be balanced offensively to attack this Kansas State defense. And they've got themselves a 1-point lead, so they're not going to abandon that running game. And at some point in time, you're hammering it up in there enough, somebody will miss a gap control responsibility, and you bust one out of there.
So 2 of 6 on their 3rd down tries. This is going to be a 3rd and 7.
Empty again, 5 receivers.
Rush 5. Good protection on the crossing pattern. The grab is made by Roy Williams, but he's short of 40. Terrence Newman with him every step of the way. Tough to lose the guy that we've talked about, the track champion in the Big 12.
I'll tell you, that's a tough shadow to have, because that shadow can stick to you like glue because he's so fast. And he's a sure tackler. Roy Williams is a big character now. Roy Williams has got some body size. You know, he's 6'4", 210 pounds, and Newman took him right to the turf at 5'11", 185. That's pretty impressive.
Punt coming up from Bradford is Sproles, not Newman. He is going to be waiting back at the 10.
Let's go.
Low line drive wobbler. And a nice hop. Sproles making the first one miss, as usual. How about the 2nd and 3rd? And finally, the first guy, what a great play.
Yep.
The first guy would not quit on the play for the Longhorns. That was Michael Unger, the wide receiver. What a tenacious kid on special teams. His 2nd already.
That's why he leads the team in special teams tackles. I mean, this guy, you know, he wasn't going to give up on him. He got juked by Sproles, but said, you know, you got me on the ground, but I'm going to get up and I'm going to finish you. And he did exactly that. Unger's a heck of a cover guy in the kicking game for the Longhorns.
Now with K-State taking over our Dr. Pepper trivia. Al Roberson with back-to-back 100-yard rushing games. Who was the last Wildcat quarterback with 3 straight?
Oh, I know that one.
Newman sets up at wide receiver. Roberson looking to go opposite way, and it's off the hands of James Terry. So they use on a streak and a deep one down the sideline. Newman is a decoy.
Yeah, Rod Babers was matched up with him. Newman was to the bottom of the field, and he just took off and ran a little streak. He's out of the football game now. It was a one-time shot. But he has, I'm sure we'll see him again. Newman has caught a 51-yard touchdown pass this season. He's also returned a kickoff 95 yards for a touchdown. He's also returned a punt 40 yards for a touchdown. He's averaging over 22 yards a touch, and he's a defensive player, special.
He's scored, what, 18 different ways now?
Yeah, he's amazing.
2nd and 10 in this one-point ball game. They'll give it the man in motion who stopped on a dime. Sproles, nothing doing. Great pursuit down the line. This guy is just like a water gun. He is so tough to corral. Stevie Lee got to him, but you got to gang tackle him.
I wouldn't want to play tag with him anywhere, not even in a phone booth, because I'd be it all day. I could never tag. I couldn't catch him to tag him. That little guy changes direction faster than anybody I've seen.
It's a rare loss for Darren Sproles, a loss of a yard. And now 3rd and long, deep in their own territory. Final 4 minutes. A defensive struggle. 2 great defensive units. Now Roberson with heat from behind. Can he run for the first down? He's getting there. He will get it. He's pretty amazing, isn't he? The way he can weave an extra tailback in the backfield. And James Terry did a nice job downfield, the wide receiver, to provide a block.
Yeah, he got the block on Cedric Griffin, and Terry just decleated Cedric Griffin. He ear-holed him. He caught him from the blind side and just took him out. And this is a wide receiver's dream right here. You see Terry now, he realizes Roberson's running. He starts looking people up. He's going to find Griffin. Boom! Oh, baby! Oh, Griffin saying, what was that? Give me the number. It was number 82. His name's Terry. He got the ear hole shot on you. Man, those are killers. You don't see that coming up. Somebody on your team has to yell it out.
Little communication,
yeah.
please.
Say, here he comes.
First down from the 30. Sproles bottled up in the backfield. Does it make a difference? No. Makes him miss again. And he's got 6, almost 7. Rod Babers had to do it in the secondary, so it looks like you get him, but then he slides down the line, and you can't blame Cedric Griffin for feeling the way he does right now.
Now, Griffin doesn't know if he's in Austin or Manhattan, and he doesn't think Manhattan's so little anymore.
Well, he thinks he's in Manhattan, but it's an island, and it's in the state of New York.
Yeah, he's trying to gather himself. I mean, I've been in those situations. You take the smelling salts, you try to come to a little bit and clear your head. And I'll tell you what, that was a free shot by James Terry, and he took advantage of it.
2 timeouts remaining for Kansas State. All 3 left for Texas. Little play fake action. Roberson to the tight end. That's Thomas Hill underneath. He'll be short of the first down. Can't have only a yard to the 38. Reed Boyd, the middle linebacker, with him.
Well, they got a couple of big tight ends. You saw Thomas Hill, 6'5", 260. McGee came from junior college to Kansas State, 6'7", 265. They thought he was going to automatically be the guy, and Hill beat him out.
Jim Knox, how's he doing on the sideline, that young man?
All right, Joe, real quick. Cedric Griffin down on his knees. He continues to be down, dazed. I don't think he knows he's in Manhattan. What a shot he took, guys. Cedric Griffin remains down on his knees.
Man, Knoxy, give him directions. Tell him where he is. Tell him what state he's in. He needs some help.
I'd leave him alone.
he can't tell you what his birthday is, I'll tell you that.
Roberson trying to get to the marker and will not. What a play by Derek Johnson. They just announced the final 11 semifinalists for the Butkus Award. And this young man, the former Big 12 co-defensive freshman of the year last season, comes up with a big play. Now, do you want to stop the clock if you're Texas? You've got all 3 timeouts left.
Now you have the quarterback in the open field who's elusive. And watch Johnson. Watch Johnson just size him up and just take him down. I mean, that is an unbelievable open field tackle by a linebacker who's got great mobility.
Why would they snap it with 17 left on the play clock? Basher on the run. Good job by Nathan up to the 30-yard line. So that was interesting. 17 left on the play clock. They could have milked it all the way down to about 45 seconds, 5 seconds. Instead, punted away. Andy Clock down there on the special teams. And our Dr. Pepper trivia, L. Roberson, back-to-back 100-yard games. What about 3 straight? What about not that long ago, 1998?
He was the guy that they started the quarterback running game with. Bill Snyder started it here at Kansas State with Michael Bishop. They ran quarterback counter, quarterback sweep, quarterback draw. And now with that mobile quarterback, now they're all doing it.
Well, now we see it at Mizzou just a couple of weeks ago with Brad Smith.
And we're seeing it here in Kansas State with L. Roberson. And every mobile quarterback, Seneca Wallace at Iowa State, they're all doing that package. And Bill Snyder started it with Michael Bishop.
So 3 timeouts left for Chris Sims, and believe it or not, personnel-wise, it was Kansas State that wanted to call a timeout. Still 53 seconds left, plenty of time for the Texas Longhorns, and they got a break, as I mentioned, on that punt. Clock management so important. You think somebody on the sideline would have told the punter before he went out, milk the clock.
And what you have here, every snap in special teams is critical because you have a defensive battle going on, just as anticipated. 7-6, mixed extra point can come back to haunt you big in a football game like this. And the hidden yards, the field position battle that we talk about being so important. Whoever makes the big play in the kicking game and avoids the big mistake gets a leg up. Kansas State made a huge mistake by having that extra point blocked. That was big.
Well, it's unheard of, though, Dave, when you have 4 extra points blocked in a game and a half. That you just don't see in major college football anymore.
And you're right, and it's on their home field. I mean, it's not on the road. You're in the comforts of your own place. You kick here all the time, and you have 4 extra points blocked in 2 games. That's critical.
Now Roy Williams working against Dunnigan. Sloan Thomas is against Terrence Newman this time. Empty backfield for Chris Sims on first down from his own 30. They get some points in the final minute. And off the fingertips of Sloan Thomas. It was right there.
Yeah, I thought that was a catchable ball as well. They've not been kind to their quarterback tonight.
Now, let me ask you this, Dave. A lot of people say that Chris Sims could be a better quarterback at the next level, even better than we've seen over the 3 years at Texas.
You know, I think Chris Sims is going to be a very high draft pick, if not the first pick in the draft. 6'5", powerful throwing arm, can make all the throws, and his personality, he's a leader. I mean, I think he's going to be a real high pick in the NFL draft. You watch.
I want to get back to that thought he just brought up about leadership. From the 30 at 2nd and 10. Again, the same formation. And a diving grab that'll bring up 3rd and 3 by B.J. Johnson. They've got all 3 timeouts left. Call it. Yes, they finally stop it. Now, the one thing I really liked when we were talking about Mack Brown, and Greg Davis, who's offensive coordinator, about Chris Sims, he said he's so tough. In fact, his teammates voted him as the hardest working player on the team.
Well, he's put on 30 pounds of muscle in the weight room at Texas. 30 pounds on that 6'5" frame. And more than once, the ring finger of his throwing hand is dislocated. And he just goes to the sideline, and it's on the other hand, the ring finger of that left hand pops out on him. And he just goes to the sideline, and they just put it back, reduce it back in place, and he goes back and continues to play the game. He's old school. I mean, he's tough just like his dad was.
Well, we spoke with Mack Brown earlier today, looking back on the career of Chris Sims.
I told Chris that I thought for whatever reason he was held to a different standard than anybody else in America, so forget it. You got to please yourself. You got to please me, Coach Davis, and your parents, your teammates, and that's it. And he is doing that.
He's right. I mean, his teammates absolutely respect him, and they'll go to war for the guy. He's a leader. He's a natural-born leader and a natural-born quarterback.
Noxie grabbed him walking off the practice field yesterday. Had him for a few minutes, and Jim, slow down. Noxie knows the old Southwest Conference, and especially with the Texas Longhorns, as long as he lived in the Austin area, now in Dallas. Chris Sims is going to be something else at the next level. Now, can he pick up a first down on his own? No, it was a quarterback draw. He wanted to go left, which is only natural, and it was taken away. Houchin, the left end, stayed at home. Was that a quarterback draw all the way? It looked like it.
Here's the 3rd down conversion situation that we were talking about, Joel. You know, when you get 2 or less on 3rd down, you should convert 75% of the time. 0 for 2 tonight. 3 to 6, you should convert almost 50%, 33% tonight. 7 or more, that's where they've been best, at 50%. You have to convert on the 3rd and makeables.
14 seconds left, and now Kansas State uses their final timeout. So 14 ticks left on the clock in a 1-point ball game. A blocked extra point, the difference. Well, Fox NFL Sundays returns tomorrow. JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy get you ready for kickoff. This week, they'll look at the faces behind the Saints' high-powered offense, plus the Buccaneers' defense. Finding out they return to the top of the NFL. It's Fox NFL Sunday. It all starts noon Eastern, 9 Pacific tomorrow morning. And then 49ers taking on the Saints. Buccaneers battle the Eagles. Other regional activity. And our Nissan halftime report is coming up just a few seconds away with Chris Calinardi looking back on a few upsets in college football today, and the biggest coming in the Big 12. First time for Iowa State since 1961. Taking care of the Cornhuskers. And I said Iowa State. Yeah. Iowa State wishes. It was a bad day for the Cyclones.
Right.
But Oklahoma State, as Sproles waits for the punt. And it's imperative for Bradford to kick it out of bounds. Just kick it anywhere. Don't let Sproles handle it. He angles it over to the nearest side.
Nice.
Good job. That was the direction from the sideline. Don't let a guy, and that happened last week to Texas, a long return at the tail end of the half, burn you once again.
Well, the return teams for both squads, Kansas State, number 9 in the country, returning kickoffs, 19 returning punts. For Texas, 7 in the country returning kickoffs, 8th returning special teams. This has been a problem, converting extra points. Low trajectory, and it's blocked. And the problem that Bright had was his plant foot. And here, a tough snap, and Brown has to recover and just kick the thing away. I mean, right on his missed extra point, his plant foot slipped on him, and he kicked the top half of the football. And he kicked it low as a result of that.
So even after calling a timeout, they won't try to throw one into the end zone. And that'll be the final snap of a defensive battle. 2 top 5 teams. Number 5, Kansas State in total defense. Number 2, Texas. Downstairs we go to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Joe. Max, so far, defense the name of the game. You guys doing a nice job limiting K-State to just 129 total yards so far in the first half.
Well, Jim, it's a great football game between 2 teams that are fighting their guts out, and they're both playing as hard as they can, and yards have been hard to get on either place. We made the 50-yard throw. They made the 61-yard run, and other than that, it's just been a little bit here and a little bit there. We've got the lead. They've got the ball. It's going to be a fourth quarter game. We've got to play as hard as we can the rest of this football game because they're a real good football team.
All right, best of luck.
Ball game between two top 20 teams. Welcome back once again, Joel Myers along with Dave Lapham. We thought it'd be close. We expected it to be close. We also expected to see more offense. Difference right now, a blocked extra point.
And really, it's because of the low trajectory. Joe Ream had problems getting the proper elevation, and it's because his plant foot slipped. Watch his left foot slip as he approaches the ball. He slides away, and he kicks the top half of the football. He almost falls down because that plant foot not secure enough. And then as they came out of the locker room in halftime, they have a kicking competition. Ream, I mean, he's trying to drill the extra point. And I'll tell you, Bill Snyder's going to make a decision who's going to kick the extra points in the second half. Jim Knox caught up with Bill Snyder, and what else, Knoxy? What else did he have to say?
Well, Bill Snyder is a little concerned, of course, on how his offense is producing right now. He said, but Texas has a heck of a defense, one of the best in the nation. It's like they're playing with 12 guys on the field. He also said, and this is interesting, guys, he doesn't think this game is going to be decided in the second half on one big play. He thinks it's going to be more than one big play, maybe 2 or 3. We'll see.
All right, Knoxy, is Darren Sproles and Davin Dennis go back and wait for the kickoff along with Terrence Newman. So a threesome back there. Richmond McGee has done it so well. And Newman is going to stay in the end zone. Had 16 touchbacks this year. They didn't have double digits in touchbacks last year, so McGee has made a difference. 11 first downs combined between the two teams.
No balance either place. I mean, one is unbalanced running the football, one's unbalanced throwing the football. But can Kansas State win the football game, Joel, passing for only 19 yards and a half? I tend to think not. I mean, it's even Steven. It's only a 2-yard differential. And this is a defensive clinic. Texas had 5 tackles for loss. 5 tackles for loss. Running plays behind the line of scrimmage in the first half alone. Kansas State has to avoid that in the second half to get their offense on track.
Well, this Texas defense, second in the nation in total defense, second in the country in defending the paths, 5th in scoring defense. They give up only 14 points a game. A little counteraction for Sproles to start the second half, and it works. Nifty move for a first down across the 30, out to the 32-yard line. In pursuit from behind, Marcus Tubbs. Big tackle making the stop.
Well, Sproles had 92 yards rushing, averaging 7.7 a pop in the first half, Joel. He did nothing to hurt that average, and he's over 100 now. For the 3rd straight week, Sproles, Darren Sproles, over 100 yards rushing. He is special at 5'7", 170 pounds.
That's his 4th 100-yard game of the season. 4th out of the first 7. But a goose egg where they need it. And that's in the touchdown department. More misdirection, a little counteraction. A stumbling start for Sproles. He may have lost a yard that time back at the 31. It'll be 2nd and 11. Strong safety came up to help on the run support. Michael Huff, along with the left end, Corey Redding, really exploded that play.
Yeah, he did. He chased it down from behind. Now, up in the coach's box area, I'm sure Ron Hudson is saying he was the backside defensive end. If he's going to chase Sproles like that, I may have to think about a little reverse action. Make him stay at home. There's Ron Hudson right here, who's thinking, hey, if Corey Redding is going to chase like that, I may run a little reverse back at him. Corey Redding chased it all the way to the other side.
Now Roberson falls down on his own as they had a blitz coming up the middle for the linebacker Johnson. It was picked up, but Roberson may have tripped over the fullback Travis Wilson.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty separating from the line of scrimmage. And a lot of times offensive linemen step on the quarterback and plant that toe in the turf like he got a nail driven through his toe. But I agree. I think it was Wilson that took him down that time.
It's a big loss on 2nd and 11. It'll be 3rd and 19 all the way back at their own 23.
And that's the 6th tackle for loss for the Texas Longhorns, although they really didn't have anything to do with that loss. But it goes in the record books as a tackle for loss defensively.
Ran a screen in a 3rd and long situation. Something of that variety. They slide the tight end wide side. Here comes the blitz. Roberson peeling away with a flag on the play. And what a grab. What a catch by Taco Wallace, a young man from Southern California. Canoga Park in the San Fernando Valley, but I got to believe it's coming back.
Yeah, I think Traven McGee was holding Corey Redding. They had Traven McGee, the big tight end, in helping his offensive tackle block Corey Redding, and I think he's the one that get called for his hands outside the framework of the body. In Washington, the big center, disappointed, but you know, they kept the tight end in to help.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Game's got to mean a lot for the center. You were just talking about Steve Washington. He's a senior from Carter High School in Dallas. Boy, that program has turned out so many players in the Big 12. And he was also singled out by Carl Reese when we were talking to the defensive coordinator of Texas. He brought up the center, Steve Washington. Man, what an impact player he has been in the middle of the line. But there's the tight end you were talking about.
Yeah, he reached out and touched someone and did it improperly. So now it's 3rd and a bunch. You don't want to be 3rd and a million against this Texas defense. 3rd and 29, that's like Yugi.
Especially as they bring the blitz. It's Johnson Roberson eluding the early pressure, but can't get away from all of them. Can he? Only the 15. And especially when you've only thrown for 19 yards in the first half to begin with, Dave.
Yeah, what you have to avoid is 3 and outs. And how you avoid 3 and outs is you don't go backwards. No tackles for loss, no quarterback sacks, no penalties and miscues, assignment errors. And then in that particular drive, Kansas State had all of it happen to him.
Vasher waiting for the punt from Travis Brown. Brown into the breeze. And did he ever turn it over? Vasher, little room up the middle if he wants it. He'll take it. What a return. There goes Vasher. Look out. The punter's got the best shot at him.
Got a flag, Joe. It's coming back.
It will come back. Flag at the 38-yard line. Was it a push in the back on Terrence Newman?
Newman was pushed in the back by Cedric Griffin. And that's going to cost him a ton of field position. As Newman was the kill man that was right in the area, and he got pushed in the back.
Well, instead of the ball at the 21 of Kansas State, already field goal range. Now the flag is back at the 38. Illegal block on the return team.
Illegal block in the back by the return team. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Boy, is that a huge difference.
Here's another one of the kill guys working his way down the field, Danny Morrison. And they call the illegal block right there, pushing the back and down in the turf he went. And that one was called. There was one on the other side as well. Newman was pushed to the turf as well, and Mack Brown is hot. Mack Brown's very, very animated on the sideline, obviously. Not the least bit happy about losing all that field position, because that was a huge return. That was about a 70-yard penalty.
It works out that way. Play fake, and a nice one by Chris Sims. Buying time and throwing it at the feet of B.J. Johnson, who was available, making his break. Downstairs we go. Noxie.
All right, thanks, Joe. Special guest right here, Gary Spain. He played for Kansas State 1974 through 77. Will be inducted in the College Football Hall of Fame next August, along with their own Kellen Winslow. Surprised when you got the news?
Absolutely surprised. It's a great honor, and the wins didn't come very easily back when I played. There's a lot of good football players, but not enough of them, and so this honor is a great one.
All right, 543 career tackles when you were with Kansas State. You got to love a game like this, a defensive battle.
It's a defensive battle, baby.
All right, enjoy the game. Congratulations. Congratulations to our own Kellen Winslow. Joe?
All right, Cedric Benson. That bull rode him a little bit, didn't they?
Yeah.
Terry Pierce.
Gary Spaney was a Kansas City Chief linebacker of acclaim for many a year. I played against him. We overlapped playing career-wise. He was a very, very intelligent linebacker, and hard-headed like all linebackers are. You know, you knocked heads with Gary Spaney. It was like, geez.
Sound like an offensive guy making that kind of commentary about a defensive member.
He was a great player. Empty backfield again for Texas. Five out.
Long count by Chris Sims on 3rd and 10. Pressure. Sims is on his way down to the 20.
Pearson Tank Reese came clean. They blitzed the middle linebacker, and Tank Reese had a quick win at the line of scrimmage. Man, you know, Tank's got that quick first step, and he just exploded off the line of scrimmage. Tank inside, and Pierce is going to be coming on the blitz as well. And look at Tank just crush it up the middle and Pierce off the edge.
They didn't even slow him down to the gap.
They met at the quarterback. Pierce is on the edge, Tank inside, and it was baboom. I mean, Sandwich City was a tag team at the quarterback.
So now Bradford with the punt. Newman waiting back deep. They almost got to that one.
And they ran into him.
And they did get the kicker. They got the punter. Newman will let it roll, then it'll die close to the 30-yard line. Now let's see.
Yeah, is it 5 or 15? If it's 15, it's an automatic first. If it's 5, they're going to re-kick. Running into is only 5, so they're going to re-kick. If Texas decides that they can get a better kick, or if they like this field position, they'll decline. But I think they're going to make them kick it again. or they want to kick it.
No, they don't want to kick it. They shouldn't want to kick it.
Yeah, that was a pretty good roll
You
they
said
got.
it.
That's pretty good field position. I mean, Mac might say, forget it. I got a nice roll, and I'm not sure we'll do much better than this.
Long field at the 30.
Particularly the way Kansas State can return punts if they hit a punt. I mean, Kansas State can bring it right back at you. I think Mac's going to say, let's play defense right from that spot.
Don't blame him.
Defense, penalty is declined. First down.
So they'll spot it, and in fact, they're going to spot it back at the 28-yard line, and Kansas State will have it for the second time in the third quarter. 1-point ball game continues in Manhattan.
One company brings new value to the way we communicate. With market-leading smartphones that add color to the wireless world. Fiber optic components that drive broadband internet service. And copiers that scan direct to email for instant communication around the globe. One company does all these things and more to keep you in touch with your world. One company. Kyocera.
Behind them is a 19th century cabin with a 19th century roof. Ahead of them is a 21st century modern with a 21st century electrical system. But right now, life is perfect thanks to a clear sky, a smooth ride, and the electronic four-wheel drive 260 horsepower Acura MDX.
Here's to individuals like Dr. Pepper, the original, and Louis and Ella, rhyming and scatting. Two black eyed peas rapping, let's make it happen.
Dr. Pepper, it's a taste of originality. Salute to individuality.
Bring out your personality.
Feel, do what you do. Feel.
Dr. Pepper ain't nothing better.
College Football Saturday on Fox Sports Net. Brought to you by Kyocera, one company, countless solutions. By Acura. Experience the performance today at your local Acura dealer. And by Dr. Pepper, your local Dr. Pepper bottler. The entrance to Kansas State University. Caddy corner from Aggieville and downtown Manhattan. It is beautiful. What a sweet little campus they've got as Darren Sproles jitterbugs his way for about a yard at that, and he won't even get that. Yeah. He's rocked at the 28 by Derek Jackson. You got to get him low, don't you? Because you don't get much up top.
He doesn't give you any hitting surface. At 5'7", and with the body lean, he gives you no hitting surface. And the way he changes direction, if I tried to do one time what he's done about 25 times tonight, I'd have no cartilage or ligaments left in my knee. I'd have ACLs and meniscus cartilage strewn all over the field. I mean, it's amazing that his knees can take that kind of, his ankles take that change of direction.
You know, you couldn't do it anyway. We've seen you out there trying to dance.
Hey, I can dance now.
2nd and 10. What a slippery move by Al Roberson. Man, off the fingertips of Rod Babers, who had a better shot, of course, than the wide receiver. He was trying to get it down to James Terry. So that's what we've seen consistently. Off-target throws from Al Roberson. But most have been deep downfield. They haven't tried to throw all that much underneath. That's why I brought up earlier the screenplay that worked. College Football Saturday continues from Manhattan, Kansas. They called it the Little Apple, and it is a fun little town. It's only about a 2.5-hour drive from Kansas City. It is worth the trip. It's all purple. Everything is purple in this town.
Oh, yeah. No question about that.
11th largest crowd in the history of this ballpark. They got a good thing going, and they know it. Soft schedule. We'll talk about that. How about a screen? That's what Roberson wants.
Oh.
Now what a shot taken on the play. He was trying to get it to Davin Dennis, his wide receiver, but Kalen Thornton was sitting there and waiting. That's a shot up here.
Yeah, it is. That's welcome to this defensive battle. I'm going to put my name in the hat. There's been a lot of hits, and Thornton's name is in the hat as well. We've had a lot of, I'll tell you, after this game, every offensive player better check his fillings because they're going to be loose.
Pressure again, but another nice punt from Travis Brown. Basher wrapped up, crossing the 30 at the 31, a return of only about 3 yards. Randy Jordan, the defensive back, down there very early, but let's also give credit to Brown for the great hang time by the punter.
Great coverage by the gunner. Great coverage by the gunner, Jordan.
Flags behind him. It's
swings. She got it going. Regional champions.
And good execution by Oklahoma.
The Texas Longhorns are national champions.
And the winner is Eric Crouch, University of Nebraska.
The first man in the history of athletic competition to go undefeated. Never a loss.
I want one size that fits me, not one size that fits all.
I want to be able to change my mind for a change.
I want it all from someone who's got it all.
I want lots of choices. Just make it simple.
Bell South answers. More choices on one bill. Savings on local, long distance, high-speed DSL internet, and more.
I want a new boyfriend.
Call us. Bell South. Listening, answering.
The weather's cooling off, so drive into Sonic and try some fresh fall flavors, like our delicious wraps. Try our grilled chicken or chicken strip wraps, made with tasty grilled chicken or our classic chicken strips, wrapped in a flour tortilla with creamy ranch dressing, crispy lettuce, and fresh tomatoes. And Sonic's put a fun new twist on chili with our new Fritos chili cheese wrap, loaded with grated cheese and crunchy Fritos. And right now, add a creamy vanilla cone for an incredible 25 cents. Only at Sonic.
October's magical matchups continue this week on Fox.
College Football Saturday presented by Kia Serra. Brings you back to this top 20 matchup. Number 8, Texas against number 17, Kansas State. Joel Myers, Dave Lapham, and Jim Knox down on the sideline. And this is, believe it or not, the second best field position for Texas to start a drive at their own 31-yard line.
Oh, boy, they're intense because they're sweating bullets and it's chilly out there, but they're moving around that football field tonight.
Benson in the eye. Can they get the ground game going? Nifty move in the backfield. As he angled it left past the 35, gets about 7 up to the 38. Tank Reese on his back. The only time Texas had decent field position, they got it to the K-State 39 on the first snap. B.J. Johnson with a 39-yard touchdown pass. The only score of the game for the Longhorns.
And Kansas State in the third quarter, Joel, all season long, they've given up 7 points only. And 7 were to Colorado in that 35-31 loss. 7 points all year in the third quarter. Amazing.
Benson can't get outside. Great pursuit. Terry Pierce again, the middle linebacker, letting everybody know the junior Fort Worth.
You talk about a size-speed ratio. Here's a guy that runs a 4.6 40 and benches 520. Again, that should be illegal. Period.
Noxie, you know a little bit about this guy, don't you?
Yeah, I tell you what, Terry Pierce grew up in Fort Worth, went to Fort Worth Western Hills, recruited by Texas, but came to Kansas State. He says he wants bragging rights. He told me before the game he wants to go home in the offseason and wear that power hat very proudly.
I tell you, Noxie, all the linebackers, it's a Texas trio. They all want bragging rights.
Texas, only 3 of 9. They need this one, and they get it. That's Sloan Thomas, the junior from Klein High School in Houston. They were desperate for that one of those manageable ones. 3rd and less than 6.
And they talk about Chris Sims' toughness. Watch this toughness in the pocket. Holds the football to the last possible second and gets kissed. And I don't mean affectionately. Corey White lights him up. I mean, a helmet-to-helmet shot.
That's about 300 pounds, Corey White, at 6'3". Another guy out of Texas, Mesquite, Texas. He's a senior.
And in spite of that pressure, Sims threw a dart on the money to Sloan Thomas.
Not many first downs in this game. That's a precious one, the 7th for Texas. The pump, and going for B.J. Johnson. He's got it. Wow. What a grab. Battling his way. Will he get to the end zone? No. How did he ever maintain control?
He outfought Dunnigan for that football. I mean, it was a perfect throw by Sims. The ball's out, but they're saying it was down. Texas 1st and goal. B.J. Johnson just outfought Dunnigan. And this is the kind of route that Sims throws well, the vertical seam route. And boy, did he put this ball is on the money. Dunnigan never finds the ball. Dunnigan never turns his head. And B.J. catches the football and then takes Dunnigan for a ride. Man, I'll tell you, that was a heck of a play.
It almost got away from B.J. Johnson, the junior from Grand Prairie, Texas. 53 yards on the completion. Now, 1st and goal outside of the 3. Will it be Benson? Cedric on the left side and barely tripped up. He may have gotten a yard. Inside the 3 into the 2. Justin Montgomery with a great penetration.
You know, and defensively in the red zone, Kansas State has only allowed the opposition in there 9 times. This is only the 10th time all year long. So far, they've only given up 4 touchdowns and 1 field goal. Let's see what happens on this one, but they've been outstanding in the red zone, offensively converting and defensively keeping people out of the red zone, and when they get there, not giving up much.
2nd and goal from the 3. Texas trying to add to their 1-point lead. Benson banged to the 2. Shooting through Josh Buell, the outside backer. He was a factor early in this game and comes through in the clutch.
Sims has got a couple of big balls over the top. One's a touchdown pass, and the other one, potentially setting up a scoring opportunity. 11 for 18 for 150 yards with that touchdown. That's pretty good decision-making and efficiency against this Kansas State defense, considering the fact his offense can't get any running game going. It's one-dimensional, and that one dimension, Chris Sims, is stepping up tonight.
They bring in the true freshman tight end, David Thomas. Tight formation, in the eye. Tressel in front of Benson on 3rd and goal. Naked on the corner. It's available. Touchdown, Texas, and David Thomas. What a call.
Great call. They put everything between the hash marks and little naked bootleg action. Sims came out of there all by his lonesome, and he could have run it in, but he said, you know what? I'm not paid to do that. I'm just going to lay it out there nicely for my tight end, David Thomas. And big release of pressure. Chris Sims and Mack Brown, those 2 guys have gotten killed in Austin, Texas this week about that Oklahoma loss. And you talk about a sigh of relief. Mack Brown high-fiving Chris Sims. They're both happy.
That is the first catch of the season, and it's a touchdown for David Thomas. As there's a little breathing room now for the Longhorns. They're up by 8.
Pizza! Hey, it's gonna be like 20. Guys, 6 nights in a row?
Isn't Hell Week over? Let's go to Subway.
Anything that's not round and greasy.
How about a hot, mouth-watering Dijon horseradish melt or sweet onion chicken teriyaki?
Thanks a lot, man. Thank you.
America trusts America Online.
I know I can trust AOL.
You've got mail.
The parental controls give me a great sense of security.
AOL has everything I want all in one place.
And you can trust AOL for all your health information. Just go to AOL keyword WebMD.
WebMD is the health site that I trust the most.
Take a health risk quiz. Download questions to ask your doctor. Register for a newsletter.
The people at AOL help me do everything. I love my AOL.
America Online. So easy to use, no wonder it's #1. Call 1-800-4ONLINE today.
Jared's here, and he's eating a hot sweet onion chicken teriyaki.
That I can't miss. Sounds delicious.
I'm on my way. Subway's hot dinner idea. Delicious chicken teriyaki topped with a tangy sweet onion sauce. Wow.
Subway, eat fresh.
The World Series is alive as Bonds and the Giants look to bury the Cinderella Angels. The World Series this weekend on Fox.
Hey, settle down. Now, don't worry. If Keyshawn Johnson said he'll be here, he'll be here.
We'd like to welcome in a guy who always finds time to be on the show, Keyshawn Johnson.
They understand if you go to a school who has expectations of winning every game and winning a championship, there'll be some disappointment when you lose, for them, for us, for the fans. But they also understand that if you got the great character and enough character to play football under pressure at the University of Texas, that's when you bounce back. Nothing wrong with getting knocked down. If you compete, you're going to get knocked down. There's something wrong with a man that doesn't get back up.
Terrence Newman is knocked down in the play across the 20. He gets that out across the 23, and that's for Kansas State. We'll put it back into play, trailing by 8. Welcome back to Manhattan. Mack Brown discussing what happened last week and the way they've come back before. Let's face it, I mentioned 2 years ago they went to Colorado on the road, beat Colorado last year, went on the road following the loss to Oklahoma, hammered Oklahoma State. So they have responded.
And the guy that has fallen down a little bit is Chris Sims. And boy, has he gotten back up. I mean, this guy is as mentally tough as he is physically tough. He has shown resiliency tonight, no doubt about that.
Mel Roberson changing the play from the 24. Good protection. He's got all day. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Redding, Corey Redding, late burst. Roberson looked off his primary, look at the secondary, nothing. That's a coverage sack.
Yeah, absolutely. Nowhere to go at the football for L. And Roberson just finished it off. I mean, and Redding just finished Roberson off. That is basically, as you described, a coverage sack.
And a big loss for a team that's really struggling to pick up yards offensively, Dave. That's a loss of better than 10, making 12. It'll be 2nd and 22. A lot of press coverage on the outside right now for the Longhorns. Leading by 8. Roberson trying to weave his magic and maintains the balance. Wow. How did he ever get away at the 20-yard line? It looked like he was going to be put down. He scrambles his way to the 32, and he's short of the first down by less than 2.
And that's exactly what a guy with the athletic ability of a Roberson can do. There's nothing going on, and he made a couple of reads, and then his third option after nothing was available, 2 reads on the same side of the field, tuck it and run because he's a running back. It almost looked like it might have been a delayed draw, delayed quarterback draw, the way he made such a quick decision to run the football. But, well, he's got the quick feet and the balance.
It looked like Reed Boyd had him.
He missed a few of those tackles. Those 15 misses last week against Oklahoma. He had a few of those.
Timeout called. Kansas State uses their first of the second half. It comes with 3:49 left in the third quarter.
In a one-point game, you don't want to burn timeouts that you might need at the end of the game. And unfortunately, the operation wasn't clean enough for Bill Snyder, and he had to burn that timeout because it's 3rd and 1. You don't want to take a delay of game and make it 3rd and 6. So he felt it was prudent to take the timeout.
Another opportunity to look at the deception. Well, a great fake by Sims.
3 tight ends, 2 right here, and then in motion is the 3rd tight end, and that's David Thomas. And David Thomas is going to change direction in his motion, and a little counter action, naked bootleg by Sims. Nobody covers Thomas coming out of the backfield. They bunched it up, 3 tight ends, 2 backs in the backfield. I think Kansas State was thinking run, and they faked the run, a good run fake, and ran that naked bootleg to the tight end. First catch by Thomas. Was it ever a big one?
Well, first catch in 2 weeks. I looked up the numbers overall. That's his 4th overall, his 2nd career score. So they picked their spots with that young man. Right. The freshman tight end was out of Wolford, Texas. He goes at 6'3", 225 pounds, so he's a big one. This is an expensive timeout if you don't pick up the first down.
He's a move tight end. He's an H-back at 6'3", 225. Quick to the line of scrimmage.
Tight formation.
They're going to try to draw him offside maybe here.
3rd and a yard. You can't get any tighter than that, can you? Roberson needed to go across the 29. Depends upon the spot.
Remember the old flying wedge in football?
Think he didn't get a great spot over to the far side. Let's see who's the one they toss the ball to. The linesman on the far side.
No, the one got his hands on hips. There's one right at the 35-yard line that's spotting the ball. The other guy, he's got his hands on hips. He's not spotting it.
He needed to go across the 34.
Right, and they spotted it almost to the 35, I thought. And Texas was offside anyway, so it's a moot point. So they're going to take the 5-yard penalty.
In the neutral zone, cost the Longhorns.
But that formation, you talk about a flying wedge. Remember the old flying wedge in football in the old days? Bill Snyder went back to the flying wedge.
Hide it, and you could really hide it in that formation, can't you?
Roy Williams is keeping that hamstring loose. He's got a hamstring problem, and he doesn't want to stand on the sideline in this chilly night air very long and get tightened up, so he's working it.
Now on first down, the pitch for Sproles. How does he do it? Wow. Unbelievable.
Wow.
He's got it across the 45 all on his own because it looked like they had the play stopped. The umpire took a fall at the same time. Hopefully he's okay. Gain of 8, though.
Well, they ran the fake dive and they pitched to Sproles, and he had Thornton, a big defensive end in the open field. And it was 43 on 43. And watch, here comes him. Watch Thornton. It's like an 18-wheeler trying to catch a Ferrari with rack and pinion steering. It ain't happening. And Thornton, the 18-wheeler, is stationary, and the rack and pinion steering of the Ferrari takes the umpire on it.
And you know what? I'll tell you something. Thornton bracketed him inside, put him back into the flow.
It was incredible. You talk about change of direction. There goes another cartilage and ligament right there on me. Man, oh, man.
Here's 2nd and a deuce.
They flinched. They flinched. Kansas State did. Yeah,
Ball start coming up.
I think the big fullback broke his stance. I think Travis Wilson flinched a little bit.
Prior to the snap, snap infraction on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
So an 8-point lead for Texas, and the direction of Darren Sproles, if you can say that he ran left, middle, or right.
This is where he ended up, not necessarily where he started. But at 5'7", 170, you don't expect him to average 10 yards a pop inside. But like I said before, he benches 400 pounds. You know, he hasn't gotten much done to the right, or, you know, decently to the left. But where he's creased Texas is right up the chute, and they didn't expect that out of 5'7", 170.
After the mark-off, second and long, and boy, that's an arm drag and a toss. Don't let go of the jersey if you've got it, Roderick Wright. The true freshman from Houston did exactly that.
Well, he's one of those 4 defensive linemen that Mack Brown went out and said, I need defensive tackles. He got 4 of the top 10 in the nation. This one's 6'5", 320 pounds. He's only 18 years old. That's a man in an 18-year-old body. It's incredible.
And not quite the escapability of a Darren Sproles, but it's almost like trying to get Sproles when you try to get a sack out of L. Roberson.
There's Carl Reese, who's a happy guy because he says, I got him for, he's a puppy. I got him 3 more years.
Now out of the gun. Roberson on 3rd and long. Design move to the pocket. And he won't get away this time. Boy, did he take a shot at the end of the play. Flying through Corey Redding as they stood him up. Derek Johnson held him up, and Redding, well, it took a while to get there, but it paid off, didn't it?
It sure did. He's relentless. Watch the pursuit and the never quit. He's double teamed. Redding says, I'm splitting the double team. Derek set him up. I'm finishing. Ooh! Man, that's a hit. Head across the bow right there by Redding. Big time.
Now, we saw the explosiveness of Nathan Basher. It was brought back by a penalty. They almost get to the punt. Now Basher backpedaling with a block at the 23. That's where he'll go down close to the 23-yard line. Great coverage downfield.
Jordan.
Again, Randy Jordan, the gunner, on the outside.
I'll tell you,
they can't lose him.
These gunners are firing live ammo. I mean, they're not firing blanks. These gunners they got live bullets going out there.
Don't forget, later tonight after college football on Fox Sports Net, start your NFL weekend, well, about a half a day early. It's the NFL show. Join us at the end of the night, right after college football, presented by the U.S. Postal Service. Then you can see it again tomorrow morning, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, right here only on Fox Sports Net. So Texas again with a long field. They move 69 yards with a big pass play to B.J. Johnson. Chewing up most of that. Now they've got it at their own 23. And going for the bundle. No safety at home, and he had him. Couldn't get it there. Again, B.J. Johnson, and Sims knows it. Safety bit on the play fake, didn't he, Dave?
He sure did. And you know what? Even though it didn't take place, they didn't convert on the play. Kansas State saying, wow, Texas isn't fooling around. I mean, they're going to go over the top on us, and it makes the secondary change their demeanor a little bit. And they could get a lot looser coverage now. Mack Brown and company stretching Kansas State defensively vertically where he can get some stuff underneath later on.
They'll keep it to the ground on 2nd and long, and nothing there. Who would have believed that Texas at this point of the game, final minute of the 3rd quarter, and there's a gain of only 2, Texas would have 38 yards on the ground and be winning by 8.
And that tells me Chris Sims, it shows me he's even playing better than the numbers show tonight, because he's got no supporting cast. We talked about a 1-2 punch. He's the only punch. He's the left-handed quarterback. He's the left jab. There's no right cross. It's just left jab, left jab, left jab, no right cross to finish.
His pass-catching specialist out of the backfield, Brett Robin, has entered the game. He had 16 grabs last year in 3rd down situations like this. Now going to keep the drive alive? No. He lost his footing. It's an artificial surface, and we've seen a number of players losing their footing tonight.
Well, it's so new. It's slick because of that newness, Joel.
That's the end of the 3rd, 15 minutes of play, and after 3, only points on the board coming from the Texas Longhorns. 14-6 Texas over Kansas State. You're watching College Football Saturday, presented by Kyocera on Fox Sports Net.
What's that?
One company brings value to your life in more ways than you can imagine.
Kyocera.
With high-performance components that power the technologies you can't live without.
Kyocera.
From sophisticated satellite communications to high-reliability medical devices that make life worth living longer.
Kyocera.
One company makes components for all these things and more to improve our quality of life. One company. Kyocera.
Healthy Choice introduces everything you love about a grilled meal without the grill. New Healthy Choice Mixed Grills. Tender chunks of grilled chicken with seared-in flavor, tangy barbecue dipping sauce, and crisp vegetables. A delicious way to eat healthy. Real food and plenty of it.
Just the way I like it. Grilled.
6 new mixed grills from Healthy Choice.
Somewhere in the Acura TL Type S.
Buddy Holly sang to Peggy Sue and his legend grew just like Dr. Pepper. Originality lives forever. Let's raise a Dr. Pepper. Taste of originality. Salutes individuality and gives life a personality.
Sproles calling for the fair catch, and his own man almost took him out as he put it on the ground. That was Randy Jordan. And a break as Sproles covered it after the punt from Bradford on the first snap of the fourth quarter. And welcome back to Manhattan. Almost disaster for the Wildcats.
Boy, the snap was a tough one, and Sproles tried to reverse his hands to catch the football. It was above his waist, so he went thumb to thumb, which you have to do below your waist, pinky to pinky. But
there was a little distraction, Dave.
Yeah, didn't control it.
Roberson out of the gun on his own. We've seen this before. Good yardage on first down. He's close to a first down. Needed to take it inside the 44, and he's right at the 44. Johnson tracking him down along with Pearson.
Well, what they do is it's a counter play, and they get their fullback Travis Wilson involved, and they pull a lineman, they pull the backside guard, Lecky, and then Travis Wilson's the second guy. You know, just sometimes they run a counter by pulling the backside guard and tackle. Kansas State's running it by pulling the backside guard and filling in with the fullback. Then the second back in the running game is Roberson, and he's a good running back.
Sproles in the eye. Roberson's got the first down as he takes it to the 42. Couple of streaks on the line. We talked about it at the very top of the telecast, but worthy of mentioning once again, an 8-game home winning streak for Kansas State. They rarely lose at home.
Yep.
And 10 consecutive road victories for Mac Brown's squad. That's a pretty strong number. In fact, they've won 14 of their last 16 away from home. We continue with College Football Saturday, presented by Kyocera. And what a battle it has become between two of the best 5 in the nation defensively. An 8-point lead for the Texas Longhorns. Little fake on the toss. Roberson, a rare throw, and James couldn't hang on. James Terry off his hands in front of Nathan Vasher on the quick slant.
Well, Corey Redding has been giving some consistent pressure to Al Roberson. And he's a guy that you have to, if you put him in one-on-one situations, or you put him against the back, or you don't assign anybody to him, you got trouble. And that time, there was an assignment error in the pass protection up front, because you do not leave number 40 in the white jersey unblocked. There is no way there wasn't a brain cramp up front.
3 wide receivers set on 2nd and 10 for Roberson. It'll be a quarterback keeper again. Nothing available on the edge that time. No gain. Corey Redding staying at home and fending off the blocker. He pushed him and took care of it.
Yeah, I think I run a reverse on him. That's the second time he's chased things down from behind. And I'm not sure that he's got enough of a good relationship, if there is a reverse, to make a plan. And I don't know if he can squeeze it and stay at home enough to contain the reverse. So it'll be interesting to see if Kansas State eventually Tries to challenge him with that.
3rd and 10. They'll blitz up the middle. They pick it up. It'll be a 5-man rush. Safety tried to get involved. And the completion. Look out. There goes James Terry. He's got a first down to the 15.
The tackle was missed. Was it Vasher that missed that tackle?
Now, more importantly, Dave, that's the first completion of the second half for Kansas State. They only had 19 yards passing before that one.
And that's our guy that had the big crackback block, James Terry, that had the crackback block on Griffin, the safety. This time, El Roberson hits him right between the 8 and the 2, and Vasher does miss the tackle. And 5, 10, 14, 15 yards after missed tackle. I mean, that's big. You have to end the journey 15 yards sooner.
James Terry out of Homestead, Florida. Now Sproles. Boy, he's collared by Derek Johnson. And the only place we've seen him effectively put down, he's around the ankles. Got to get him low.
Yep. In the red zone defensively for Texas. They've only let the opposition in 12 times coming into tonight's action. This makes number 14 because Kansas State scored on a drive in the red zone earlier and missed the extra point. So this is the 14th drive in the red zone. They've now given up 9 touchdowns and 3 field goals. Let's see how this one ends up. They've only had 1 takeaway in the red zone.
Best field position to start a drive overall tonight for Kansas State. Can they capitalize running the option? What a pop by Redding. And Sproles does the wise thing just to pounce on the football after the loss back to the 27. How quick is Corey Redding?
Oh, man.
Wow.
I mean, he went after it. Now, they said, you know, on the option on this play, Corey, you have the quarterback. He says, okay, unblock. I'm going to put my helmet right on his right shoulder. Man, and I tell you, El Roberson couldn't pitch it quickly enough. He said, I got to get rid of this thing. But because the contact was so quick, it rerouted the football behind Sproles. Sproles had to hustle just to retain possession. Got an injured Kansas State player at the 14-yard line. 7-point stance going on right there. Hands and knees and helmet was on the turf. You don't like those 7-point stances. That's the big fullback. Travis Wilson. He's a hurting unit right now. Man, Corey Redding is a one-man wrecking crew out there.
First team all Big 12 last year. And, you know, we talk about sacks so often, but that doesn't tell the whole story. I mean, Corey Redding's been in the backfield all day. Forget about stats. He's been in the face of the quarterback. He's been pursuing plays from the backside.
Yep, he's had sacks. He's had quarterback pressures. Came into the game with 19 quarterback pressures, which leads this football team. And he's had more than one of those tonight. He's been the man.
Jim Knox, you've watched Corey Redding since he was a puppy.
I must have a
Jim's microphone, unfortunately.
I just have a short circuit. There's gremlins down there is all I can say. We got to get rid of those gremlins. How did they do that in the movie? What they get rid of them with? They had to get whatever it was.
3.5 minutes gone. And now on 3rd and forever, can they get into field goal range? Even better.
Wow.
Roberson into the open field. Won't get the first down. But now a field goal try as he took a shot at the end of the play.
Derek Johnson lit
It'll
him
be
up.
about a 33, 32-yard field goal attempt coming up. As you mentioned, though, Derek Johnson.
And you know what, Joel? I'm not Bill Snyder's thinking the way my guys are kicking. I don't know if I do this. I might just try to see if I can get a first down inside the 5-yard line. He's taken a long time to decide to try the field goal opportunity or not.
I'd have to kick it. That shows no confidence in your kicking game.
And he doesn't
it's a
have
short
any.
one.
He doesn't have any, and he knows the reason he has to go for 2 if he scores is because they missed an extra point. Bill Snyder has said, I'm not going to, even though it's 4th and 9 in the red zone, I'm going for it. I'm not going to kick.
Victor Mann, the only one in the backfield, spread the defense. Roberson, will he be able to do it on his own? Wide open, the tight end, touchdown, Kansas State and Thomas Hill.
Wow. Woo. Gutsy called by Bill Snyder. Now he's going to go for 2 to tie it up. And he said, you know, I'm not going to kick the short field goal. I'm going touchdown. I'm going to run a little tight end high. And it's awful hard to hide a tight end at 6'5", 260. But they did. A little misdirection. El Roberson rolls away from Hill and little throwback pass to the tight end. Shevitz, we got a game.
Second touchdown of the year for Thomas Hill. Now the 2-point try to tie things up. And what a job by Roberson, though, because not only was he deep in the pocket, throwing off his back foot, heat in his face.
He was on the left hash mark and threw it to the right sideline. That ball's in the air a long way. And I'd roll Roberson out to the right from the left hash mark, give him a two-way go.
Might be the call on the option. Low toss. Roberson should be able to get there. He does. It's all even.
He blocked
and Megan Sproles on the toss from Roberson.
Big block by Travis Wilson, the fullback. I mean, Travis Wilson lit it up, and there is a flag. Let's see what the flag's about. There is a flag. It's being discussed. Boy, Wilson had a great lead block, and it's against Texas, and Kansas State saying we'll take the points. Pick it up. No flag.
Score if Roberson can't get away from the heat on the touchdown throw.
And what a gutsy back-to-back call by Bill Snyder. And Roberson falling away as you described, Joel. Tremendous arm strength to get the football to his tight end, Thomas Hill. What a play.
It's my mother's recipe. Oh, candles.
Yeah.
Roscoe!
Roscoe!
Get down!
Oh!
I don't know what got into him.
You'll find any excuse to go Outback for our perfectly grilled shrimp and our tender ribs with chicken on the barbie.
He used to be so well behaved.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Dehydration. It can't be predicted. It can be prevented. Nothing has been tested and proven to hydrate athletes better or faster. Gatorade. Is it in you?
Jared Bright to kick it away. One of the noisiest stadiums in college football is alive and well. 50,000 strong as Bright will kick to the combination of Williams and Selvin Young. And it'll go out of the end zone for the touchback.
Well, the touchdown pass shows the old tight end hide. Watch Thomas Hill. He's going to fall down like he's blocked and get up and run a crossing pattern. Roberson's going to roll left and throw back to him. Watch, tight end hide. Now he's up and he's running. Roberson says, I'm throwing it back to him. Tight end hide, throw back pass. What a call in the red zone for a touchdown. Amazing execution. Now the 2-point. Watch the block by the fullback. Knocks people back into the end zone. Tremendous effort by the fullback, Travis Wilson. He had a big block on Dakari Pearson.
Williams and Benson. And Sims is changing the play. Cedric Benson. He's been shut down all night. That's a big game when he gets 4 on first down. And a look back at the scoring drive of 54 yards for Kansas State. That was their best field position to start a drive. You know what was really amazing in watching that replay over? The tight end on that drag after he blocked down, tried to get lost. He almost ran into the umpire.
Yeah, well, the umpire can set a pick for him. He's thinking if a linebacker reacted quickly enough and covered me, I'm picking him with the umpire. But nobody, the linebackers disregarded him. When he blocked and went to the ground, the linebacker said, he's not a receiver anymore, and they lost track of him, the old tight end hide. Great call by Bill Snyder.
Selvin Young, the true freshman, bolting through for about 5 to the 29. His first carry of the night. This young man's got speed from Jersey Village High School in Houston. True freshman at 6', 195 pounds. He's brought down by another Texan, Brian Hickman, the junior linebacker. Biggest third down of the game right now for Texas. 4 of 12 so far. Can they convert deep in their own territory? It'll be Young. Won't get there. Pierce driving him back.
Man. And Hickman got some penetration as well. Hickman was the guy that got across the line of scrimmage and disrupted. And then Terry Pierce came downhill as the linebacker and finished it off. Man, what a defensive stand by Kansas State.
And what's really killed Texas State, the last two possessions started at their own 23 and own 20-yard lines. They have not been able to pick up a first down after taking that 14-6 lead. So any momentum that they had, they didn't capture, they didn't seize it.
Yep, they lost the field position battle, and Newman's back to return.
Keep it away from Terrence Newman. That's what Bradford will try to do, but it's down the middle. Got a fair catch called for. As Newman taking instructions probably from the bench. Has it for the Wildcats. New ball game. 11 of their own 31. Tied at 14.
Taco Bell's grilled steak taco tastes so authentic, you may pull a grilled steak switch out.
So you like carne asada steak?
Yeah.
Great. Got some out on the grill.
The grilled steak taco. Tender slices of steak marinated in Mexican spices and grilled to perfection for a taste that's irresistible. For authentic carne asada steak, think outside the bun.
Those mighty Mazda markdowns are going strong at John Thornton Mazda, and the prices are going down. Atlanta loves Mazda Proteges, and John Thornton would love to sell you one for just $11,990. And have you seen Mazda's great sport utility, the Tribute? Well, instead of looking, why not own one for just $15,990? Mighty Mazda markdowns and lower prices right now at John Thornton Mazda. Take I-20 west of Six Flags to Thornton Road. The deals are so famous, they named the street after them.
I want everything from one place, not one thing from every place.
I want it all from someone who's been around the block. My block.
I want it all from a company that's got it all.
I want one bill, unless you got a no-bill plan.
Bell South answers. Everything from one company on one bill. Savings on local, long distance, high-speed DSL internet, and more.
I want you too.
Call us. Bell South. Listening, answering.
October's magical matchups continue this week on Fox.
Kansas State finally scoring in the second half. They got the two-point conversion after they missed the extra point try. Had it blocked. 4 blocked extra points for Kansas State over the last 2 games. And now Kansas State with the momentum on their side at home gets it to their own 31. That time they finally buried it. Wilson's breadbasket. Well, we talked about it. It truly is an elimination game for one of the two teams, because this late in the conference season, Dave, can anybody survive with 2 losses and still try to get to the title game?
Yeah, unless Colorado totally falls apart. You know, if Kansas State loses tonight, they go 1-2. They got problems. I mean, if Texas goes 1-2, Oklahoma looks like they're in position to run the table. So you're right. I mean, this almost becomes an elimination game in terms of division opportunities to get to the Big 12 championship game in the conference.
No gain on first down for Kansas State. It'll be 2nd and 10 at their own 31. The deception, loose ball, and it's taken away. Texas took it away. Wow. Coming up with it, Lee Jackson, the strong side backer.
Wow, man. And talked about turnovers being a factor. Texas is +9 in the turnover department coming into action tonight. Make it +10. First turnover of the game, isn't it? It's been a very, very well-played football game in that department. There's been a couple on the ground. Kansas State's put it on the ground a couple times, but they lost this one. Jackson takes it away, short field, 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line for the Texas Longhorn offense. And it wasn't due to contact. It was bad execution by Kansas State. No contact by Texas.
Shelvin Young has taken over in the backfield. Not Cedric Benson. The speedster, the true freshman, behind Matt Russell. Sims changing the play with 2 on the wide side. Plenty of time for Chris Sims. The deep corner, intercepted by Terrence Newman.
Wow.
Do you believe it?
Man, he was trying to go down the field to B.J. Johnson, and Chris threw into double coverage, and Newman, he not only has 4.25 speed, he has a 41-inch vertical jump, and he went airborne with all of that 41 inches and came up with the football. Chris Sims trying to get down the football field. He's trying to watch Newman underneath. Newman, look at the jumping ability. 41 inches airborne. That's a bad throw. You got bracket coverage. Newman underneath. You have coverage over the top. And Chris Sims tried to put it somewhere where there was no opportunity to get it there.
Third pick of the year for Terrence Newman. If anybody can recover, it's the Big 12's 100-meter outdoor champion and the 60-meter indoor champion.
Exactly. He can close on the football, and that's Chris Sims' only bad decision of the night.
Sproles with breathing room now. And a first down across the 15. Finally catching up Cedric Griffin, the redshirt freshman. But boy, they needed it. He took it outside on the edge, all the way to the 18.
Yeah, when Sproles was 5 years old, he went to in the 5th grade, I should say. He went to Pennsylvania for the AAU 50-yard championship and finished 3rd as a 5th grader. And they knew they had something special. In youth football, they couldn't tackle him. Well, they're having a hard time tackling him here tonight in the NCAA.
Now, let's remind everybody, Dave, he's only a sophomore from Olathe. So 2 more years of trying to catch up with this guy.
And Jackson's down. Jackson's had injury problems. He missed all last year with injuries, and he's grabbing that right ankle a little bit.
He had a toe injury that kept him out. He's missed, in fact, most of the last 2 seasons.
Right.
He's a sophomore, though he did start every game.
He's been plagued by injury the last couple of years. It looks like he's limping on that right ankle pretty severely right now. But boy, Sproles is he's got something special to him. There's no question.
Sproles right now, 18 carries for 127 yards. And where would they be without him?
No, you can't find him.
127, though, Dave, out of a total of 205 for Kansas State in the game.
It's just like Quentin Griffin we talked about. When Sproles in the huddle, look, everybody's a head and a half taller than Sproles. And he hides behind those offensive linemen. Then all of a sudden he darts out of there with all that quickness and changes direction. It's like, man, you can't find him.
First down from the 18. Sproles again, banging his way up the middle, the little guy. Spinning for a couple of extra. He got 5, almost 6.
You know, Sproles, what he does is he cozies up behind the big hogs and just like pops out of there at the last second. And then as soon as there's an unblocked guy, he makes that guy miss. And I mean, you got a gang tackle Sproles.
Have we had anything but down to the wire games this year?
This has been awesome.
It's unreal.
It's been college football at its finest on Fox Sports Net. It has been unrealism.
2 5-1 teams. 8th ranked Texas, 17th ranked Kansas State. And it looked like Texas was seizing the moment in the 3rd quarter. Now the 4th quarter has belonged to K-State. A little counteraction for Sproles, making a miss, but he doesn't get the first down. He's short of the first down by about a yard. Roderick Wright finally caught up with him.
You know, back to Chris Sims, and I know it's been a while, but Chris periodically will decide, you know, he had his team in a short field. So Chris gets out of the box a little bit, gets away from his progression and says, I'm putting you on my shoulder and taking you to paradise. You know, at key times, he has to restrain himself from trying to make a big play when it's not there. You can't make too much happen, and that was his problem on that play.
Al Roberson picked the right spot, found a little gap over the left side. He's got the first down, I believe. It's a season high of 136 yards this year for Sproles. A lot of people have questioned the Wildcat schedule this year. All home games. They played 5 of their 6 at home. Only road game, they lost it at Colorado. But they opened the season with 3 at home against Western Kentucky, 48-3. Louisiana Monroe, 68-0. Eastern Illinois, 63-13. An early quality opponent early. That was USC at home, and they barely beat them by 7, 27-20.
Well, you saw Sproles 20 carries already. He's durable. They question that. He's durable enough.
Roberson making the pitch effectively, and that's the way they feather it outside. Then all of a sudden, what's the end going to do on a play like that?
And Corey Redding was the guy that was between the rock and the hard place. And watch him down the bottom here now. He has to. I have to respect the quarterback and the pitch man. Oh man, what do I do? And he ends up doing nothing. And you know, you end up doing the little shuffle there, a little Watusi. And the quarterback turns it up inside Al Roberson for 5 or 6 biggies.
Marching all on the ground after that big gain. Short side of the field behind Sproles, and what a break as it pops out of bounds at the 32. A loss of about 3, and now not so automatic on the ground. Wright and Redding converging on Roberson to force the bad pitch.
And that's what drives Bill Snyder nuts. That's the 3rd pitch, at least, that I can remember tonight that's been on the ground, and that's the danger with running the option. They're backward passes and their fumbles. I mean, you know, that's a live ball, and he's put the ball on the ground more than once. They only lost one of them, but I can remember 3 that have been on the ground.
Basically a mistake-free game, though.
Yeah, 1 turnover apiece.
Roberson faking the pitch. Can they get him? Slowed down and finally put down.
Johnson
well, Jarek Johnson could not hold on, but Redding cleaned up. We've talked about these two guys just a little bit. You think they'll sleep well on the plane ride home?
I'll tell you, it's like the Bermuda Triangle. Redding turns it inside to Johnson. Johnson kicks it outside to Redding. I mean, you know, you can't get away from these two guys.
So now punt coming up. Nathan Vasher. He returned 1 all the way down to the 21 of Kansas State, but it was brought back on a flag. Low line drive. This is a returnable type if he can get a block. And he doesn't get a block. He's put down after only about a 3-4 yard gain across the 35 to 36. Still though, Texas only about 2-3 first downs away from field goal territory.
One company brings new value to the way we communicate. With market-leading smartphones that add color to the wireless world. Fiber optic components that drive broadband internet service. And copiers that scan direct to email for instant communication around the globe. One company does all these things and more to keep you in touch with your world. One company. Kyocera.
Wendy's Mozzarella Chicken Supreme is so delicious with its 2 slices of mozzarella and Parmesan sauce on our whole breast filet. It's taking people to a higher level. Wendy's Mozzarella Chicken Supreme, it's better here.
Introducing Dockers, flat front mobile pant.
Our dad's idea of time on the road is different now. He signs more report cards than autographs and spends more time on our wardrobe and hair than his. Instead of people watching him play, he watches us play. But one thing hasn't changed. Every night, he plays to a full house.
College football Saturday on Fox Sports Net. Brought to you by Kyocera, one company, countless solutions. By Nissan and your Nissan dealer. By Wendy's. If you want to eat great, even late, remember, Wendy's rules the night. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Anderson Hall on the campus. Kansas State University. Great night for football. And what a game it has been. Tied at 14, a little more than 4 minutes to play. Good kids out there, and Young is grabbed by the face mask at the 37.
Yep. I think it was the big horse Melvin Williams that got the hand in there, didn't he?
It was either Williams or Tank Reese. It was Williams, the senior from St. Louis. And it's a personal foul. Well, they've got 1 of 3. They need 3 first downs, basically, to get in field goal territory for Dusty Mangum.
Yeah, that was the big one because Williams is trying to come off the block. And he grabs Young's face mask. He's trying to catch on to something, and all he can grab is face, and he tries to pull him down by the face mask. That's when you can get the neck injuries. That's why it's 15.
Jim Knox changing running backs for Texas.
Yeah, I tell you what, Joe, right now Cedric Benson standing on the Longhorn sideline. Guys, he's been hurt by a turf toe throughout the season. Suffered it against the Houston Cougars earlier in the season. Right now, he's a spectator watching Selvin Young carry the football.
Selvin Young's in the eye from the 48 of Kansas State. He gets the call again.
Man.
Boy, what about a shot by Josh Buell, who's, I'll tell you, from the first snap of the game, his motor has been on high.
I'll tell you, he took Young backwards. Buell hit Young, and Young was stunned. It was stun and done. Backwards he went and down. Man, that was just a clean one-on-one shot downhill by Buell. Backwards goes Young. Down goes Frazier.
Kansas State had to use a timeout early. I'm not touching that. It's a loss of a yard. Boy, oh boy. You've had a lot of coffee tonight.
No, I never have had a drop in my life.
Cedric Benson is a single with 3 wide receivers. Plenty of room for Chris Sims. He's got Roy Williams off his fingertips. He can only get one hand up working against Terrence Newman. It was a fastball at that.
Great play call, though. 2nd and 1. It's a throwaway down in Greg Davis's opinion. So he says, I'm going over the top because I have another down to make the first down, 3rd and 1. And look at where Chris Sims has distributed the ball. 11 to his wideouts. Tight end has Zippo, doesn't check down to his running backs. Chris Sims is getting the ball down the football field to the wide receivers.
Robin, the only one to the backfield. A little more than 3 minutes left. And now 3rd and long. Sims wants to change it. Can everybody hear him, though, with this crowd making this much noise? Here comes the blitz. Sims in trouble. Single coverage. It's complete inside the 20 to B.J. Johnson.
Wow. Dunnigan couldn't find the ball.
And he was grabbed anyway.
And Dunnigan couldn't find the football. That's the 3rd time tonight Dunnigan couldn't turn his head and find the ball, and they roughed Sims after the throw. It's going to be half the distance to the goal.
Now, there's no flag in the offensive backfield, but it was a grab anyway. Pass interference will be declined. That would only be 15 yards.
Yep.
Instead, 1st and 10 at the 17, so already in field goal range. And now clock management can be interesting.
Interference against the defense. Penalties decline. Results will play. 1st down.
Boy, Chris Sims stood in that pocket once again, though, and took a shot. I mean, he held that ball to the very last second. And as he's getting crushed, he throws a strike. And Dunnigan can't find the ball. B.J. Johnson does. Dunnigan has had trouble turning his head to locate the football. That's about the 3rd or 4th big play over the top on him tonight.
Benson comes back into the game. Split backfield on 1st and 10. Little misdirection. Benson on the counter. Plugs his way up the middle. Good run. 5 yards down to the 12. And let's remind everybody as B.J. Johnson makes that catch, Sloan Thomas, B.J. Johnson, Roy Williams, their top 3 receivers are all juniors for the Longhorns. They're back next year.
And B.J. Johnson has stepped up tonight. 4 catches for 132 yards because he's the only healthy guy. I mean, Roy Williams has a hamstring problem. Sloan Thomas has a hamstring problem. The only healthy wideout, 100% healthy, is B.J. Johnson, and Chris Sims has gone over the top to him tonight with regularity.
Now can you run it? Can you keep it on the ground and be effective? Benson tripped up, still manages to make a positive out of a negative, down to the 10. And I bring up running the football because you don't want to give, right now you're a chip shot field goal. You don't want to give Kansas State the ball back with too much time left.
And you don't want to turn it over in the red zone. And one thing, look at Cedric Benson's struggle tonight. And Noxie talked about that turf toe. Turf toe ended Jack Lambert's career. Turf toe is no joke. Turf toe is tendon problems that attaches your toe to your foot and ligaments. And when you have those kind of problems, you can't walk, never mind push off and run and play football. So that's not a laughing matter. But Chris Sims, the one thing that he's done in his career, he only has 2 turnovers, 2 giveaways in the red zone. He's fumbled it once and he's thrown 1 interception. He's been very, very good with his decision making in the red zone.
Now, the key 3rd down coming up, and Mac Brown thinking just like us. Milk the clock. Used a timeout. First of the 2nd half. In a tied affair.
These people are getting answers to the most important questions they'll ever ask. Questions about their health. They're finding those answers in a single place. WebMD. 16 million people come to WebMD every month. They find vital information that used to be scattered in 100 locations, now all in one place. The place America comes for healthcare answers. A place called WebMD.
And the next table goes to Miller. Party of 4.
Outback presents Call Ahead Seating. Just give us a ring before you come and we'll put your name on the waiting list. That way, when you show up, you'll get seated quicker.
I just want to thank my wife, Rita, for calling ahead. I love you, baby.
Call Ahead Seating, now at an Outback near you.
Those young men have plenty of antifreeze working tonight as it's tied at 14, and Dusty Mangum could be the difference maker tonight, the sophomore from Mesquite, Texas. And he is a former walk-on to the Texas Longhorn program. So as many blue chippers as you've been talking about tonight, Longhorn walk-on could be the winner.
And he's 6 for 11 from 20 to 39 yards this year.
Now Sims on 3rd and a couple, moving the pocket. Can he find his man in the end zone? Incomplete. He tried to get it to Roy Williams.
Now Dusty is, as I said, 6 for 11, from 20 to 39 yards. The biggest problem has been the deep snappers. He's gone through Texas has gone through 3 deep snappers due to injury. The #1 deep snapper is back, Cullen Loeffler. And Loeffler will be snapping this football. And Loeffler's the best snapper now that he's healthy. Let's see what the snap looks like. Have to have good hold, good snap, good hold, and good kick.
Now he's blocking him to the right during pre-game warm-ups. Let's see if he can angle it from right to left. The 27-yard attempt on its way, and Texas has the lead.
And Dusty's happy, and Texas is happy.
16 million people will come to WebMD this month. Some will learn about a condition or a diagnosis. Others will chat with experts. Many will simply decide when to visit a doctor. We'll help them all to navigate WebMD's wealth of medically reviewed information to find exactly what they need. Americans may have thousands of different questions about their
Pizza! Hey, it's gonna be like 20. Guys, 6 nights in a row? Isn't Hell Week over? Let's go to Subway. Anything that's not round and greasy.
How about a hot, mouth-watering Dijon horseradish melt or sweet onion chicken teriyaki?
Thanks, look, man. Thank you.
I told you this thing was awesome.
The 60-inch Plasma HD TV, 4 inches deep from Zenith.
Dusty Mangum with a 27-yarder, his 8th field goal in 14 tries this year. Gives the Longhorns the lead. Now a difference maker as well for Texas this year. The young man on the field ready to kick it away. Richmond McGee, the sophomore from Garland, Texas. Can he take the return game out of the equation?
Uh-oh.
Goes low, look out. Here comes Newman. The speedster makes a miss. And finally, from behind.
Woo, he is something.
Making the stop for Texas. Now what a save by Richard Hightower, the reserve wide receiver.
How about 100 meters? How about 10 200 meters? Unbelievable. How about 4.25 40? How about fast?
Well,
he can scoot.
Well, right now,
I mean, unbelievable.
How about Jared Bright and Joe Ream, the 2 place kickers for Kansas State, who have had so many problems this year on simple extra points? It'll be interesting to see if they can get in field goal territory, whether he goes to Bright or Ream. Both are only 2 of 3 on the season. Now, Roberson out of the gun, too tall. James Terry. It'll be 2nd and 10, stopping the clock with 1:20 to play. Timeout situation, identical for the 2 sides.
And
Carl Reese, the man in the middle.
there, and Carl Reese is going to be making the calls to make sure that that's secured. And Ron Hudson right now with his head in his hand saying, "I got to come up with something." We've done the tight end hide. We can't do that anymore.
These 2 teams have not combined for 450 yards of total offense. Now Roberson under his center this time. He's got a little room, and he makes the most of it. He's short of the first down by 1.5 yards. Clock running. When do they use it? I wouldn't rush on a 3rd and 2.
No. That timeout they burned early in the 3rd quarter is painful.
Roberson on his own. He got it. He's across the 47 to the 48. That'll stop it with the movement of the chain.
Now get up and spike it, because there's only 56 seconds. You can burn some downs now. But they're in their 2-minute offense, and he's getting the plays from the sideline.
Do you have to spike it, though, because they stopped it anyway? You've got 15 seconds. You really don't.
Yeah. And
you could call the play.
And they did. They got a play called in from the sideline.
Out of the gun. And almost disaster again. And Roberson hit. The original penetration came from the man who put him down. And what a time for a sack back at the 40 is Roderick Wright, a true freshman. He pinched him over to the near side, pushed him out of the pocket, and then caught up with him.
He's stepping up large tonight.
So a timeout with 38 seconds to go. College Football Saturday presented by Kyocera. Comes back to Fox Sports Net next Saturday. Pac-10 Twin Bill, Stanford and UCLA in the first of 2. And then Washington State, one of the great teams in the nation, top 10. Cougars going up against the Arizona Wildcats. It all starts with the College Football Saturday kickoff show. That's at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 Pacific. right here on Fox Sports Net.
The problem that Kansas State has and Bill Snyder is facing as he speaks with Al Roberson, they've got 227 yards offense right now, 167 rushing, only 60 in the air. And with 40 seconds to go, you have to throw the football, and they've struggled throwing the football because Texas has got tremendous pressure out of their front four. They haven't had to blitz that much to sack Roberson, so they're rushing 4 and dropping 7 into coverage, and they have all this ground they have to cover.
Let's face it, if you get to the 30 and you've only got 5 seconds, you're going to try to tie it up.
Yeah, and like you said, both field goal kickers are 2 for 3. But the way they've operated tonight, boy, you have no given. And Bill Snyder, from 4th and 9 in the red zone, went to the tight end Hyde for the touchdown. And at that time, the 2-point conversion tied the game.
Loss of 8, 2nd and 18. It's a 5-man rush. Roberson has plenty of time. And available over the middle, his favorite target, James Terry. That'll stop it with another first down. They're close to field goal range already, outside of the 33.
Nice job by 2 of the receivers. Taco Wallace stretching the field and clearing it out, and Terrence Newman out there stretching the field. There's the speedster, stretched it on the last play to operate underneath.
Roberson saving the timeout. Plenty of time again in the crossing pattern. It's again James Terry.
And they went right back to it. You know, that's a good call by Ron Hudson, Bill Snyder, whoever called it. They cleared out with Newman again and ran the underneath crossing pattern to Terry. If they didn't stop it, go to it again. Repeat the play.
Only 1 timeout left for Kansas State. Here goes the clock. Now, looking for Newman, corner of the end zone. And he's lucky he threw it out of bounds because Newman stopped on the pattern. We remind you the executive producer of Fox Sports Net is Bill Borson. Coordinating producers of College Football Saturday, Roy Hamilton and Gary Garcia. Tonight's game produced by Mike Helling, directed by Ken Fountains. College Football Saturday studio show produced by Loy Maxon, directed by Joe Woitis. Senior Vice President of Field Operations, Andrea Berry. Vice President of Field Operations is Karen Newman. We could have asked for much more between 2 top 20 teams, partner.
No, absolutely. Bill Snyder, right now, Joel, is thinking touchdown, but he has to be careful. He doesn't want to necessarily have his field goal kicker tie the game up because he has questions in his mind, but you don't want to turn it over in the red zone.
Yeah, you got to take one shot at the end zone, though.
Oh, absolutely.
On the crossing pattern, it's Terry again, 1st and goal.
No, he dropped
and
it.
Now they're saying it came out on his way down.
Yep.
And that'll stop, and here comes the field goal try with 7 seconds left. Timeout, Kansas State. So it's going to be a field goal try right at about 36 yards.
And right now, is there a more nervous guy in Manhattan?
It'll be his longest of the season. His longest right now is 35.
And remember, he's had trajectory problems. On the extra point that was blocked, his plant foot slid on him. He slid forward and kicked the top half of the football. Now, let's take a look at what happened to him on the extra point that caused problems. As he approaches, watch his plant foot slide. His left foot slips, and he almost falls down as he's following through. So he's going to have to. It's going to have to be, again, good snap, good hold, good kick, and good protection, because Texas is capable of penetrating and getting those hands up.
For the tie, can Jared Bright, the junior from Bakersfield, California, force overtime? It's blocked again.
Too low. Too low again.
And covered by Texas.
Amazing.
So Texas with a second left, and Rod Babers,
wow,
may have been the one in there.
Now Jim Knox talked about the kickers kicking behind the football. Bright on the one extra point hit the top half of the football. Let's see his approach here. He kind of, you know, that was
low.
That was low, and that was a good jump. I mean, the timing of the jump was perfect, and Mac Brown says yes.
Well, let's be realistic. That lineman in the front wall, he may have been on his tiptoes at the most.
Right, and if it got by him, I think the defensive backs and linebackers that were jumping behind him would have had a shot at it. And Bright, you know what he's doing? You know, in golf, you have to keep your head down or you hit the top of the ball. He's bringing his head up. Bright's taking his head up to see if the ball's going through before he kicks it. You have to keep your head down.
Sims took the snap, and in disbelief for Al Roberson, it is all over.
What a game.
Well, they have always been able to respond despite the disappointments against Oklahoma.
And Texas has not lost back-to-back games since 1999 under the tutelage of Mack Brown.
Chris Sims, some big throws in the second half.
And really, when you look at those numbers, they're even more impressive because they couldn't run the ball.
Jim Knox with the man who's a little bit on the elated side.
All right, thank you, Joe Mack. Congratulations. What a victory. It came down to one big play, and you guys got the block right there at the end.
Well, it just shows you what college football's become, Jim. Two great football teams, a lot of great kids, played down to the last second. We made the play in the end to win it, but boy, give them credit for coming all the way down. Bill Snyder has done the best job of coaching here of anybody in the country.
You did a good job of coaching yourself tonight. Not too many teams coming in this place and win games. This was a big victory for the University of Texas.
Well, thank you, Jim. I'm excited for these kids.
Congratulations.
So an incredible game. Dramatic finish. Texas prevails on the Mangum field goal by 3. For Jim Knox, Dave Lapp, I'm Joel Myers. When we come back, it'll be Chris Rhodes, Kellen Winslow, and Artie Gigantino. So long for a minute.
Actually, we'll take it right now. Welcome to the College Football Saturday postgame show. I'm Chris Rose, working alongside the Hall of Famer Kellen Winslow, the coach Artie Gigantino. We'll get their thoughts on Texas and Kansas State in just a second. But quick reminder that the NFL show takes over for most of you. We'll preview all the big games of Week 7, Saints, Niners, Bucks, Eagles. It's all headed your way. Plus, Queen Latifah, Artie's favorite, in the studio.
Carnell Williams is a great player. What Auburn has to do is open it up for Carnell Williams in the play-action passing game. If they do that, then Cadillac will get his yards, and he'll get a lot of them.
The two head coaches, Tommy Tuberville, 4th season as the head man of the Auburn Tigers. And across the way in his first season, Ron Zook, former assistant coach here. First season, 4-3, his numbers. And the weather last year was so totally important in this ball game. When Mother Nature became the 12th man, so to speak, for the Auburn Tigers, and they upset #1 ranked Florida in Auburn last year. Tonight, no chance of rain, and the wind at 3 miles an hour. As you look at Damon Duval, Damon, the history maker, so to speak, last year with 10 seconds showing on the clock. He booted, I think, what is one of the really great field goals of our time into like a 24-mile-an-hour wind. He aimed 6 yards to the right of the right up mark, and it went straight down the middle, and they upset the #1 ranked team in America. Auburn has won the toss, but they have deferred. They want Florida to go on offense first. And this one's not going to be returned out of the back of the end zone. So let's talk about Rex Grossman. He injured his leg. Actually, he tweaked it again last week. He's been hit a lot, Mike. We talked about that last week. But the youngster, really a gutty performer. I think sometimes too much so, because he's going to get hurt if he doesn't either go down or leave a tight end to block for him sometime.
Ron, it's imperative that Florida gets something good to happen to them early so they can get this crowd with them.
From the 20-yard line, Auburn jumps around on defense, and a quick out pass, a good safe throw. 25, 30. It is Carlos Perez who makes the reception, and it'll go for 12 yards. Here are the other starters on offense for the Gators. Ernest Graham and Carlos Perez, Tyler Jacobs, Ben Troop, and Aaron Walker. They open up with a 2 tight end set. And on the offensive front, Jorgensen remains at center this week. Shell was injured last week. He goes to right guard. DeGore goes from center over to left guard. First down on the opening play of the night. Now they scrimmage from the 33. And it's Ernest Graham right up the middle. Bounces it off to the right side out to the 37-yard line. Defensively for the Auburn Tigers, they are led by DeMarco McNeil out of Pritchard, Alabama. Big and really good defensive tackle. The linebackers, Dontarius Thomas, still not 100%. They got to have him playing well this evening. And in the secondary, Rogers and Willis are going to get tested at the corners this evening. Gain of about 4, maybe 4.5. Grossman with an audible at the line of scrimmage. Again, Florida goes with the 2 tight end set. Wants to throw. Second throw of the night. Gets it away. Has it complete. That's good for the first down. Again to Carlos Perez.
And again, Ron, it's important. I can't say enough about the Florida offense to come out in here and get something going and get some first downs. Carlos Perez does a nice job of coming back for the football. Carlos Rogers with good coverage on that play.
Mike, obviously they don't have it on this play right here, but the idea of the two tight ends to have better and more protection.
Without a doubt, Ron, that'll help them.
Three wide receivers come to the bottom of the screen. Actually, one of those is Aaron Walker, the tight end, flexed way out to the bottom of your screen. And they go with the running play, try to spread them out. It's Ernest Graham with a 5, 6, and 7, and he'll take it across midfield. It's Mark Brown, the middle linebacker, who is there to make the tackle. And a nice block on the right side by Colin.
And that's what they need to do, too. We saw this game last week against LSU. You have to establish the threat of the run and the run itself. Ernest Graham's a great back. We got two great backs in this football game tonight.
Quick pass right over the middle, got it complete, and guess who again? Decoying with Taylor Jacobs, and Perez has been the workhorse so far. 3 catches in the first 2 minutes of this ball game.
And here's the other thing you notice, Ron, everything's quick.
Yeah.
Because of the protection breakdowns last week, everything's 3 steps, everything's a run, everything's a quick screen. Now Tommy Tuberville and the defense of Auburn will start tightening it up a little bit as they cross the 40-yard line.
Perez 3 catches now for a total of 27. You can see Tuberville pacing on the far sideline. Drive started back at the 20, and it's a draw play. Flag goes down as Graham is going to take it to the 40-yard line. I don't know if we had someone moving before the snap. Mark Brown with his second tackle of the night. We had a chance to visit with Mark yesterday afternoon after the Auburn walkthrough. Yep, that's going to be the call. And he talked about, I should expect to get to know Ernest Graham a lot better this evening. He said by all means, particularly after the week the Tally had game against them last week, they expect to see Ernest running the ball and a lot this evening.
Ron, he also said Florida's a wounded animal, and we know they're going to come out swinging, and they are coming out right here taking their best shot.
You know, one of the things that opposing coaches, even though the Gators have 3 losses in the early part of the season, one of the things that opposing coaches have reminded their teams of, though, they are still Florida athletes and they are very capable. Don't take them for granted. Penalty of 5 yards. It's now 1st and 15. They need to attain the 32 to pick up the first down. And Grossman sets the throw. Fires it out in the corner. Has it complete. And the first pass delivered to Taylor Jacobs of the night. The senior out of Monticello hit immediately by Carlos Rogers.
When you look at Rex Grossman, he's throwing the ball quickly tonight. There's not a question about where he's going with the football. He bounces. He's got a little bounce to him. The routes are being run well. Taylor Jacobs on a quick out completion.
4 of 4 for Grossman to open the ball game tonight for 35 yards. From the shotgun, hands it off on a draw to Ernest Graham. Flag is down inside the 30 and down to the 26-yard line. Mark Brown with still another tackle after a 14-yard gain. Max Starks, the junior out of Orlando, big number 77, with a nice block on the play. Did they not have enough men on the line of scrimmage? That's the only thing I can figure. I didn't see anybody move, did you?
Ron, when you look at last week, here's what Rex Grossman did against LSU. Underneath 10 yards, he had 10 for 18, 3 interceptions on this side, 4 for 6 here. But anything over 10 yards last week, he was 2 of 17. 1 for a touchdown, 1 for an interception. So the long throws got Florida in trouble last week.
Well, Florida quickly to the line of scrimmage. Look at Auburn having to scramble as now they get their defensive linemen in place. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage, and another